Hello trainers and welcome to the European League Masters, the next step in the European League journey presented by Unity Clash. 8 teams earned their rights to battle it out across our round-robin format of 7 weeks to be crowned the first ever Masters champion. From veteran teams to brand new squads, this is the best of EU Grassroots Unite, and we're now down to the final 4 teams. And after this weekend, we will know who our finalists are. Will it be a double rework final, or will Supernova and Phantom Forces become the upset masters once more? I'm your host, Spartantano, and I'm joined by the incredible Lobo as usual as we get him in here. How are you doing today, buddy?
Hello, buddy. I am doing absolutely fantastic. I am so excited here to be... Am I not here?
We may have lost him. I think we may have lost him, chat.
Is it coming? Hello?
I can't see his cam. I can't hear his voice either. We're just dealing with the Porygon issues that we've currently got going on. I can't hear him, though.
Oh.
It's not even coming up. Let me leave voice and then rejoin. Apologies, Lobo. You continue talking. Oh yeah, no, I defo can't hear him through the Discord. This is weird. I've never had this before. I don't really know what to do because I can't hear Lobo. I don't know if he can hear me. I think we may have lost Lobo altogether. Let me see if you can hear him on stream. No. Alright guys, it's me for now. Lobo will come back. I think there may be some issues with the good old internet. Anyway, I'll be here. I'll keep on yapping until we hear his beautiful voice in our ears once more. We've got some exciting games for you here. Let's just get stuck in as much as we can. Let's have a look at the standings and see where we're at. Of course, we've got 4 teams competing today. It's going to be an interesting matchup, and we can really talk about this until the cows come home, because let's have a look where the standings are right now, and this is just incredible with the way these playoffs have ended up, chat. Rework, Esport, Gear, and Core are in that number 1 spot, that number 2 spot. No surprises there at all. They have been dominant teams throughout the entirety of this European League. Team Int and Los Duros have been really going at each other to see who takes those higher spots in the standings as well. Team Int, brilliant play throughout the entirety of the league, but when it came down to when it matters most for the group stages, they just couldn't make it work. Same with Los Duros, but it's this next team, Supernova, that absolutely did. We've mentioned it when they came out of the mid-seasonal. They had a brand new team, and boy, have they cooked with it. They make it through to the playoffs here after a brilliant run in Group B. MTZ Esports, Italian Diff, just not able to do enough. But it is your last ranked team in these standings, Phantom Forces, that putting the biggest shift of their entire career here in Pokemon Unite and made it through to nearly top the entirety of Group A. They just missed out on that opportunity, but they are here today in your playoffs. And oh boy, do they deserve it. I know you're all rooting for them. I'm rooting for them. Let's see if Lobo is back on this mic, bro.
Hello?
You are!
Hello. I am here. I am so sorry. What a time for my computer to completely shut down, stabilize in the system. But buddy, I am back. I am so sorry to leave you hanging, but I know you are more than capable of running this. These standings looking very, very nice. I mean, the rework team's so very strong.
They are. Let's have a nosy at the group stages production if we can do that. I want to see that journey that happened, and boy, was it fun. This is going to be the playoff state right now, chat. So today we will find out what goes on between these teams. Quickly, let's look at the group stages. So Rework Esport Gear 2-1, Phantom Forces 2-1. Really, really close to being able to take that with a 3-0 victory, but MTZ Esports did not allow that to happen. So fair play to them. Los Duros and MTZ couldn't lock in enough to make it through though, and it's the same with Team Int, who are in that 3rd standing position. They lost every single one of their games and they just couldn't do enough Supernova with a huge run through to get out of Group B.
I mean, absolutely crazy scenes that happen in the group stages. I mean, the rework teams just keep in their top spots, but it was the two bottom seeds, the two bottom teams in Phantom Forces and Supernova that actually came up deuces in this one, my guy. And, you know, really turning the tables on the rest of the entirety of the EULM bracket. I mean, they were struggling throughout the entire season, but these new rosters, these new players, these new mentalities coming through from Supernova and Phantom Forces, it was really exciting to see them come through and actually make it out of both of these groups. And now they're looking to put a dent into it, but mate, I don't know if anything can stop Core at this point.
No, I don't think either. I mean, this is the biggest thing to talk about today. It is full fearless today, chat. So that could be the difference between winning and losing here between these two squads. Let's have a look at what we've got on the playoff schedule here, production. If you don't mind bringing that back up for me, we can have a look at the bracket and see the positions that they're currently in. Everybody is expecting a rework final, but Phantom Forces and Supernova both have the opportunity now to cause a massive upset. Imagine the scenes if the GOATs that are rework esport can't make it to the winners final and we have a Phantom Forces Supernova here, Lobo. I think my mind would blow.
I mean, I'm actually looking forward to it. I really think Supernova and Phantom Forces, they have a chance to play spoiler right now. And I think the way that they're playing, they definitely can, especially when we've got a full fearless. Now, I guess we had to explain it to them at some point. You and I are no strangers to the idea of being fearless. But mate, you know, obviously the Asia finals were happening that were done in fearless as well. This concept is coming to all of Pokemon Unite, and it is starting in this grassroots scene right now. So I'm excited to see it. Shall we talk about Full Fearless? Shall we talk about it? Shall we tell the people what it's all about?
What it's all about, buddy. So Full Fearless, chat. What this basically means is that any Pokemon that is played in a game cannot be played in the next game. And it's not partial, so just because, you know, Team 2 didn't pick Mew and they can play it in the next game, no, not like that here. Any Pokemon that is picked in Game 1 cannot be played in Game 2. Any Pokemon that's picked in Game 2 means Game 3. You are not allowed to play any Pokemon from Game 1 or Game 2. That is a huge amount of Pokemon that will be unplayable if we hit that all-coveted 5th game in these series. It means we're going to get really deep into the pool of these roles in Pokemon Unite, and I'm incredibly hyped for it.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how many Pokemon that we can see coming through the play. You know, there are some popular picks when just discussing these with some of the players here in the EU region. We saw Delmice being played yesterday as well in the Asia League, which is very interesting to see. A lot of niche picks coming out. We could see the return of the Urshis, who are very popular. I mean, Water Bear, always a very, very popular Pokemon. But once you pick Water Bear, I mean, that's Urshifu off the table entirely. Or you don't get a Red Bear, you just get one bear. And unfortunately, you know, we'll go see where they come through as well. That's also the case with Scyther and Scizor because they share a Unite license as well. So a lot of these Pokemon that have separate Unite licenses but built into one, it's going to be interesting. But I mean, we always got to give a shout out to our incredible community members, because without them, a lot of these things can't happen. So Dioeva, I think I said that right. I apologize if I butchered that one, has some incredible stats for us to go through. So, I mean, we have them up on the left. Let's talk about them.
Yeah, let's have a nosy. We're going to get into this right now. I think overall picks is going to be the first one. Let's have nosy, the most played Pokemon here. Not really any surprises, bro. I think probably one of the few surprises is the fact that, like, with the meta the way it is right now, Miraidon just doesn't get used anymore. But I think Blastoise being number one is absolutely no surprise here.
I mean, Miraidon not being used because it was, alongside Mewtwo Y, one of the most popular attackers, throwing Teleon up there as well. But Miraidon struggles against a lot of these dive defenders right now. When you're talking about Blastoise, when you're talking about Mamoswines, when you're talking about Crossels as well, these Pokemon with their ejects into their movements really hamper Miraidon. As well as we've seen the emergence of speedsters like Talonflame and Mimikyu as well. Mimikyu's always been that popular, but speedsters like Talonflame and, you know, the ever-popular Scyther that we saw at EUIC, Miraidon just doesn't have a chance at standing up to those Pokemon with their big amounts of burst damage. It has good movement. It has good sustain. It has insane damage output. But I mean, if you can't get away from those speedsters, mate, you just can't play the game.
No, let's have a look at the overall, I think either the weekly picks or the overall bans here. Here we go. Overall banned Pokemon. Absolutely no surprises that the Megas are on the board there. Pretty much the same with Vaporeon, Blastoise. I think Suicune, especially with the buffs that have recently come in, chat, should continue to be a permanent banned Pokemon in this game. The Glaceon is so interesting, Lobo. I think EU has some really great Glaceon players, and it works so well into the current meta here. So no surprises, especially with the domination that is reworking this league, that Glaceon gets banned so much.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you have players that specifically will go for Glaceon, you target that Pokemon because, again, I think Glaceon's very underutilized with the amount of, we talk about all the time. We hate this all-rounder defender meta because they're just in your face the entire time. And so with that ability to just shred them down with either the Icicle Spears or go for that big burst damage as well to target those speedsters that are just on the move all of the time, whether you've got Mimikyu, I mean, you're seeing Meowth in there as well. You also really, I want to see Suicune and Vaporeon, two of the most annoying defender / all-rounder Pokemon. We call Suicune a pseudo defender. It's just so hard to take down, and we said it. Take away all the damage that those Pokemon do, they're still going to be in those very, very top-picked Pokemon.
Okay, so top 5 Pokemon played by Roll. Mimikyu leading the charge alongside that Mega Gyarados for the all-rounders there. I think we'll probably see a little bit of a switch on this with the new patches that have come out. No surprise with them Champ either. Let's get through these quickly because I believe we have an interview that's about ready to go. Attacker-wise, I think we'll continue to see Miraidon fall off slightly with the way that the attackers are currently in this meta. Supporter-wise, I think Psyduck is the go-to, mate. Blissey's still continuing to be tied with So Strong, but I think those two will continue to battle that out. Leaders through Defender and Speedster, mate.
I mean, you got Blastoise, you got Cross, you got Vaporeon. Those defenders are all the defenders we see. I mean, notable absences are the Mamoswine and the Trevenant as well. I feel like Trevenant and Mamoswine are going to make their way up into that ladder. I think Snorlax will jump out of there as well because those Pokemon just have such good utility. Speedsters, Talonflame at the very top, very easy to see. It has such good... The fact that it's coming back into the meta right now without really having anything done to its kit, because you're seeing its utility with Fly come through. And these players, we know specific players that are very, very good on Talonflame. But, I mean, that's just how it goes. Yeah.
That is just how it goes. We have none other than Ickless here for us to interview, buddy. Let's get Ickless on with us. Hello, buddy. How are you doing today?
Hello. Well, I'm doing fine. Thank you.
Welcome in, Ickless. I mean, right now, it feels like Rework are the team to beat, whether it's Core, whether it's Gear. They are so difficult to take down. But lead me through a little bit of how it feels going up against them. You're there on Gear. You've been competing so well, but Core continue to win as well. It's like two brilliant teams that just keep butting heads. What's it been like to keep pace with Core in this league?
Yeah, I mean, Core has a very good composition team, and like today we really want to win to face them in grand final because we are struggling very hard to win against them, and we only won one time in tournaments against them, so it's not enough for us. So yeah, the match of today is very important, not for the win, but just to face Core in grand final and show them who is the best rework team.
Ooh, fighting talk.
I mean, obviously, it's always great to have a team that's a rival of yours. Of late, you push each other to be the best right now, but that is the future. Right now, we're looking at Supernova. Again, a new look roster, a new look mentality coming out from Supernova, but also we're going into full Fearless. It's the first experimentation with this format in these grassroots style tournaments. Talk to us about that. How much do you think this full Fearless concept is going to affect you guys? Have you worked towards it? Have you started, deepening those Pokemon, those champion pools at the moment? Or how are you feeling about full Fearless right now?
We are feeling very great. Like the full Fearless format draft is very interesting for the competition in general because it's forced the players to like learn a lot of Pokemon, and in case in Pokemon Unites, it's forcing them to play everything and not to be just good on one or two Pokemon. It forces everyone to learn a lot of the most things they can. So it's very interesting. We kind of played it a bit in another tournament, not very in Scrim, because like in the official UCS rules for the moment, it's not the rules for the moment. So people are not working that on training on Scrim. But yeah, we already have a tournament and it goes kind of well for us. Like it was very interesting and very fun to play, because like everyone can show like their special picks, and we know that we have some special picks, so it's the moment to show it and to play them. So yeah, like the first draft was very hype for us, and we immediately accepted because it's a very great opportunity. And I think if Pokemon Unite is continuing in that way, it's gonna be the usual format for even for the UCS, as we saw for the ACL Cup. They are playing on full fearless draft, and the competition is just way better with this format.
I mean, it makes us very happy, buddy, knowing that the Fearless is the way that pros want to be playing this game. I mean, we hope we're with you. We hope it continues to be so. I believe it was actually Teeps from Supernova that proposed the full Fearless here for these finals. And I know Shivan went out to the players and was like, yo, how do you feel about that? I mean, Iklas, of course, I know you sound quite excited to play Fearless in general in Unite. I suppose you do speak to the other pros in the scene as well. Is it like an agreed thing throughout the pros that you kind of want Fearless coming in? Like, is there a lot of people that are hyped for that side of Pokemon Unite?
I don't know. Like I can't say yes or no because I didn't talk to a lot of players to know their think about the first draft. But I think if you love the competition, you can't love the Fearless draft. Like we saw it in League of Legends. It's just so good to play on this format, and you can see some upsets on some Pokemon, or in case in League of Legends on some champs that you are not supposed to see. And looking at the same meta for 1 year sometimes, because patches are kind of random, we don't know what is going to be meta or not. Like the Fearless makes the patch not that important, because anyway you can't you can play the meta Pokemon only one time. So like the Fearless is, for that it's so huge. So I think like people that love competition love Fearless. That's just a fact.
We love to hear it.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right, buddy. I mean, we will have to say goodbye. We only had about 6 or 7 minutes before we can get straight into the game here. So, Iklas, we'll have to say goodbye, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on the mic. The best of luck for you in these games, mate. We're all rooting for you.
Thank you very much. Have a good cast.
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. What a legend, mate. I mean, listen, they want the run back. They want the run back against Core. Gear, Core, they want to clash heads. They've been two brilliant teams. You want to be the better one, don't you?
I mean, absolutely. And this is what I talk about, you know, whether I'm always curious about the relationship and how the Rework Esport, Gear, and Core all came about. I mean, it's always interesting to see when you have a rival, when you have a brother-sister pair, sibling rivalry, whatever, just getting pushed and pushed. So that's 10 players, my guy, that are always going to be able to play and scrim and find someone to really play this game with and get better at this game. So I'm really excited for it. I mean, we've got Rework Esport Gear. I love the fact that Supernova, it's a Supernova. It's a Supernova A coming through. And then we got 6-1, which is a great winning record right now for Rework Esport Gear, and Supernova coming through as well. But I guess we go through these player profiles. We got Royatari, we got Skull TT Bone, we got Iklas, we got Peach, and we've got Quazix. This is a team. These are players that we have casted, I think, kind of for the last 3-ish years. And we've seen them individually, and we've seen them on a host of different teams. But however, this is where they seem to have found their calm. They've found their consistency. They've found, some success with these 5 players, and it's so exciting to watch.
It is. Let's have a nosy at their current match history, bro, because it has been detailed. As we have a look, they've pretty much 2-0'd anyone that they've come across until that mid-season. They went down against Core, and it was not easy for them, but they were almost undefeated in the entirety of the regular season until they came up against Core. So a huge team here, to be honest. Mid-seasonal, they went up against Italian Diff and lost to them, but they won the entire thing anyway, bro. So this is one heck of a team. And of course, they were defeated by none other than Phantom Forces in the group stage. So that's something to keep a close eye on here, chat. Supernova are up next. We do have Starzerg, Teeps, Sora, and Seasons here. And I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one. I do believe it's Yikes that is there as well. And this team, bro, they have gone from being on the bottom of this table to reworking their team after mid-seasonals and coming out and having one heck of a run here. Just looking at some of their stats, they started as Seed 7. They lost all sets except 2 versus Rework Core and Phantom Forces. Round 4 was very strong for them, and they defeated Rework Core in the mid-seasonal as well. Defeated Team Int 2-1 and Italian Diff 2-0, but they fell to Core. This team is huge since coming out of that mid-seasonal, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. And I believe it's still the new look roster as well, coming out from the side of Supernova. So, you know, changing things up, never being afraid to change things, sitting still in this competitive scene. The competitive scene is not the best thing. If something's not working, you have to change something up, and you have to change it up quickly. You can't be afraid to make those decisions. And Supernova have done that, and they seem to be benefiting from it quite well. Semi-finals, here it is, Tana, best of 5. We're here for 5 sets. I mean, I'm assuming 5 sets because none of these teams are going to give anything away. Always in full fearless. You know, when we were doing again best of 3s in partial fearless, the bans stayed, the regular bans stayed the same. However, in full fearless, those bans are gonna have to change. But Megazard Y, Garchomp, Umbreon being banned off straight away.
What I love about this, bro, being full fearless means that every game we've got 10 Pokemon that can no longer be played. We are going to have, at a minimum, 3 games played here in the best of 5. That's 30 Pokemon that won't be on that board. It is incredibly hyped. I'm on the edge of my seat here, chat, as we continue with these bans. Mimikyu taken out here by Yoritari. Let's see what Sora wants to take out. I think the Surfetch is a huge shout with how good that Pokemon is right now.
Yeah, I agree. But again, all of these Pokemon, they are not taken off the bans completely. You can see them again. So banning strong in this game 1 is exactly what you want to do. Beat's going to not even waste any time. Not going to use the full 30 seconds that you have to pick a Pokemon. Psyduck is the way they want to go. And man, I don't deny it because that Pokemon is so strong, especially as a first pick. Zapdos is open. Moltres is banned. However, still, so we won't be saying that. Yikes is going to pick up the Mew, as well as the Crosshair. Now, that is a core that we see a lot of running in that bottom lane, the Mew plus the Crosshair.
Yeah, no, it really is. It's a good combo. You've got some good frontline for Yikes to be able to drop that damage. Ickless is going to get the first pick on this Zapdos. This is huge for Esport Gear. They got the Mega Lucario as well. They are going big hits into this because it is full fearless. This means Supernova will not be able to play those 2 huge Pokemon for the entirety of this set.
I mean, Mega Gyarados is still on the table as well, my guys. So they could even go double Mega. We could see what we want to see. But, I mean, Suicune also a good shout here. But you also got to think, if we leave any Pokemon on the table, I mean, they could either get picked up by the other team and get banned off completely. So Rule Edge being hovered over by Ryotari, we know how good they are on that. And Quasic's hovering over the Snorlax. Now, I've always said it, Snorlax feels like one of the most underwhelming defenders right now, just in terms of its ability to really displace. Love the heavy slams, love the blocks as well, providing those extra shields. But it seems like a few other defenders right now, those Umbreons that we're seeing, and especially the Blastoise, which got banned off, they have such more of a nuisance factor going on. And Snorlax seems to feel like it can drop off towards the end game. However, never count out a heavy slam, a secure. Speaking of secure, one of the gods of secure, Teeps, is going to pick up the Blaziken to round off Supernova's comp.
This is so interesting between them both, bro. Like, 2 really good comms, but of course, picking up these Pokemon means that you'll never see them again for the rest of this set. So Supernova know that some of those picks that Esport Gear have, they would love to play, but they simply can't. And Supernova have gone more into the alchemy route here. They still allow this Blissey, these Clefables, so these Elder Gosses to be played later on. So you're kind of pulling up a kind of underrated pick at the moment for those supports, I would say, Lobo. I think Alchemy is incredibly strong in the game right now. The Unite move is just so good, but people just overlook it for different supporters in that role. So I like how Supernova have gone for something that is very strong, but not what they were expecting others to go for.
No, I agree with you as well, but it also looks like Gear have gone full throttle right from the start.
Yeah.
They're looking to pick up those victories, because if Supernova are able to pick up a victory with a Zapdos, with a Mega Lucario, with a Cerulege sitting on the other side, not only is that going to be a massive mental battle going into the next one, but you've essentially just not been able to capitalize on your very, very important picks. And I guess Mega Lucario is still the best Mega that we've got going right now. We've got Megazard, we've still got Megazard Y, we've got both Megazards. I'm actually curious, Connor, if you pick Charizard, are all of the Charizards stable? If you pick Zard Y, or is it, you've got 3 licenses for these Charizards? Are they all gone?
Well, listen, don't quote me on it, chat, but I'm going to say, I don't know. Production, can you let us know what goes on with the whole Charizard vibe? Is it banned out full stop, or do they have the 3 sides of it? Can they go Y, can they go X, and OG Charizard? Let's find out as we kick off this game here, bro. As a reminder, Moltres will not be played. It is in moratorium. That was right.
Finally says it properly. As we do have a Mega Lucario and Psyduck into that top lane, we got Blaziken here first. A quick central lane clear as well. Cerulege opting to go bottom side. So different lanes for both central laners. However, they've seen it. Cerulege is going to go top side because, of course, you can leave Zapdos by itself.
Yeah, I mean, mega damage. You're not going to complain about that, is it? We're just getting confirmation around about Charizard at the moment. We'll get back to you on that one here, though. KO opener here. Psyduck is going to find the KO. Mew manages to find one on Snorlax down in the bottom lane as well. So pretty even as we open the gates here, Lobo.
Yeah, absolutely. Mew is so good in that lane. The beautiful Rock Tomb into the Mewsted Auto plus the Electro Ball, so good. Zapdos can put out that damage, my guy, but it is very, very weak once you're able to dive onto it. The problem is diving onto it without sustaining a whole lot of damage. Beats just looking like they're ready for the sun. We over here in the UK don't get that much sun, but Psyduck is ready for it. They're going to try and secure no points on the board, so no stackies for any of these people, but we do have a Machoke as Starzerk is ready to go. Gets pushed away by the Headache into the Bubble Beam.
Oh.
Even if you evolve, my guy, it does not matter.
Rotation coming out from Supernova here as they want to push this bottom lane. They do need to do something to limit the pressure down there against that Zapdos. Right now, though, Esport Gear are locking in this top side. 31 points in. That's another 21 on the board. Unanswered right now by Supernova. Trying to find the KO onto Skull. Not able to is Chamcina. They're going to back on up here. And they're going to go for the rip. See if they can find the rest of the damage in this lane.
Yeah, I mean, look, Beach is just able to sit back and chuck those bubble beams on, which is going to make the damage output coming from Cerulege and Lucario just all that much more worth. And Supernova have now seen what's going on in that top lane. They don't like it. They're looking for the submission. Had to pop the eject with the Bitter Blade coming through. Mew looks for the execute with the Electro Ball, but the Bitter Blade is going to do the work as Cerulege goes in with the Revenant Rend to clean up, probably pick up a KO streak of 4, I believe, because they have to get away with that one. Nah, I mean, Quazing says, I want to get in on the favor and takes a KO away. And Beach cleans up with a nice 22-point overcap on that top path. Gia not playing around.
Nah, they're really not. They are really outpacing Supernova in this one. And this is a little bit of a tough state for them to be in. They need to get points in, bro. The amount of games we've seen where you try and continue to fight and fight and fight and get experience, but they've been outscored by their opponents as it gets that final moment. Gear here looking for the rip on the Regice. I saw the effort coming in from Seasons. They weren't able to get there just yet. Massive heavy slam block. That's going to be locked in. Oh, it was close from Yikes. But it is going to be Icarus that finds it for Gear here as they continue to extend their level lead as well as this point lead.
Mew so good at trying to secure that away, but they had 2 defenders, Beach and Kha'Zix, just sitting there making sure that Icarus could get that secured. Now they turn their attention to another Reggie. Go Reggie, Drago, the rest of Supernova. They need to find some momentum in this game. They see Cerulege coming in. They can ward off the Blaziken. Blaziken's so good at securing the boosted auto. He's going to go onto the Zapdos. There's the high voltage siege coming out to make sure that they defend. They want to put a siege onto this bottom pad in as well. They've just backed them all up, but Cerulege is heavily invested in a submission coming through from the Machamp, but unable to catch the ghostly Pokemon. But mate, fighting all over the map as Quasies gets sent back to Nurse Joy.
That was good from Starzerg. The difficulty is now they do need that Machamp online. They need to have this Barrage Blow ready to go. And there's the mighty four-armed monster ready to go on in for this next team fight. Either way, though, the submissions have been working a treat here for Supernova as they look to score these points. Drago will be taken by Gear. Gotta get on this Zapdos right now, bro. Overheat ready to go, but they were pushed out of it before they could. Fluffy Cream Supreme's gonna come through, but it doesn't do enough as Supernova had to back out of that situation. Mega Lucario looking to dive in and cause mega damage to Supernova, and boy do they, as they find the KO, chased down by Ryotari as well, and that is Supernova on the back foot once more without scoring a single point, Lobo.
I mean, it's going to get tougher and tougher right now because they're just losing footing in this match. I mean, the fact that Ickless took so long to take down as well kind of throws a spanner into the works, if you will, of what I was saying before. Once you dive onto that Zapdos, if it has the rest of its team around, and again, it's all on beats with that damage reduction coming out from Psyduck as well. Tana, it's such a good comp. I mean, this is exactly what you want from your supporters. Ickless has the damage output, but Starzerg on that, I believe it's Starzerg on the Cerulege. I do have to check this out because, you know, they're just in the way. Can't see these names, but they're going to go in for another siege on it to this tier 1. Rock Tomb going to be cancelled out by the block. Ickless just cannot be dived onto at this point.
That's the saving grace for Gear here. Ickless just isn't being caught out just yet. Again, eject button to perfection there to get through the wall. That was Crustle. Rubble Rouser's going to be used, though, into the Aura Cannon here as Mega Lucario is looking for the KOs. A massive X-Scissor, though, as they connect, but it's not enough. The Power Nap from Snorlax gives the shields that were needed. There's the Muted Auto with that Electro Ball as it finds the KO finally onto the side of Ickless. But Supernova, every time they have the advantage here, cannot do enough to capitalize on it, bro. As we're about to say goodbye to Mew, they pull out the Mystical Mirage, gonna see if they can surf the opponents away, but they get chased down anyway, and it's Psyduck with a Psychic that finds the KO. Esport Gear are in complete control of these fights, and they don't even have Zapdos here anymore.
No, they don't. Ickless has actually gone into that tier, into the top path as well. They realize they don't need it. The Barrage Blow does come through. Unable to find any KOs, but the boost is coming through as well. That four-arm demon gets a submission on to the Lucario, who's come out of that Mega. Ryotari trying to do what they can. Nice Blaze Kick to push everyone back into the Enhanced Solar Beam because of that light screen. Ryotari going to try and do what they could do best, but gets felled. I mean, gets stunned by the X-Scissor, taken down by the Flaming Fire Fists of Blaziken. Ickless turnabout 180 came into that lane and decided that his team needed him most. When he vanished, he returned and came 193 to 0. We got 30 seconds left until our first objective of the day. And if you take a Registeel going into this one, that's going to be massive.
Looking for the X-Scissor. Not looking
Mew,
like they're going to find it just yet, and yes, they do. X-Scissor goes on it. I don't think they wanted to go for that season. They were trying to see if they could get away, but Beach actually pulled them to it to make sure that they couldn't, and they do grab that. It's a huge buff, but right now they've not got a single point on the board, bro. They are getting a shutout by Gear right now, and they're going to get blocked away as well on the side of Seasons. Look at the positioning right now of Starzerg, waiting for the biggest Barrage Blow you've ever witnessed. But right now we've got the Cerulege looking to come around for the flank as well. Has to be wary as they come into the bush and they're spotted. Now they have to continue to run, and out a block is going to stop the submission coming through. There's the high voltage siege as they continue to drop the damage here, looking for that Crustle. They're going to continue to fight in this bottom lane, and Lucario's not even here, bro. Full power Sai is going to be used. I don't think that was needed. No Unite Moves had been capitalized on from Supernova yet.
No, absolutely. Into the Power Nap as well. So we've only got 2 Unite moves, but they're very damaging Unite moves coming out with the Revenant Rend and the Aura Cannon. Ickless has been found into the Rubble Rouser. Psyduck trying to do whatever they can to keep Ickless alive, but Ickless finally goes down. There goes the Revenant Rend from Ryotari. The Mega is going to come out from Lucario as well. Fluffy Cream Supreme is going to keep everybody nice and healed. And Supernova, even though they've been shut out, they managed to take 2 down, but there goes 1. Lucario almost trying to pick up a KO on the Mew, but he's so very wily. Look at the health of Mew right now. Cerulege gets found as well, and all of the dominance that Rework Esport Gear have shown in that entire fight could come amount to nothing. Snorlax is here, but so is Ickless. They're dangerously low, but the KOs come, and 2 get felled from the side of Supernova. Never, ever discount a Blaziken inside a Kyogre pit. It's Alchemy that scores and secures.
Sora gets the KO on Kyogre, but is it going to be enough? They find the KOs, but right now they're 323 points down. Hundo Burger in the top side, looking for the Hundo Burger down here as they're able to get it in. No, they don't, because Ryatori is there with the Bitter Blade. Trying to get it in is Sora, but Pete won't allow it to happen. They've only got a Hundo Burger in. They've got 10 seconds left, and this is what we talked about in the earlier stages of this game, Lobo. You are so many points behind. But no matter what you do in the final few moments, there's a 48. Can't get the Hundo Burger in. It's not going to be enough as Esport Gear take game 1.
Oh, I don't know. I saw the 48 go in. I saw the Crossel desperately trying to get a 50 in as well. But it is definitely not enough at all. I mean, Supernova almost shut out of that game entirely in the first 9 minutes. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful Kyogre fight from everybody involved. I think you were right. There were 2 Unite moves, the Power Nap and the full power Sai that were used very early by Rework Esport Gear. Ickless, with the amount of damage that they were putting down, only didn't manage to get a single KO. But look at where all the damage came from. 131k damage coming out from Ryotari.
It's such a shame, buddy, because to defeat a team on a comp that Gear has there would have been monumental for Supernova, and they were so close to doing so. But the difficulty is, against teams like Rework, is they just score from the get-go. They continue to send one person into the opposite lane while they hold the attention of the entire enemy team down in the bottom lane, for example. And we'll have a look at it as we get up the recap. It was crazy work, and these two teams do it so well. Hold them down in that bottom lane while you get somebody to score in the top lane. If you outscore your opponents in this game, it's Pokemon Unite. You can only win it by scoring. No matter what happens in those final few moments, you've out-leveled Supernova. They can't score enough points, and that's exactly what just happened.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think teams are slowly starting to, especially we're seeing it in the EU region right now, Tano. As soon as you get that early game advantage, score, because not only are you getting your levels, you don't have to rely on getting KOs to get your levels. You're getting your levels to a more point. You're getting your plus moves, you're getting your more enhanced moves, you're getting your final evolutions quicker. The quicker you're scoring, the quicker you're evolving. My guy, I mean, this is somewhat of the evolution that we're seeing right now in EU. Score early, maintain early, shut out the opposing team, and also take that final objective completely out of the equation. Sora with 146k healing, putting on those little dollops, as we like to call it, all the way around that. And I actually really like Alchemy for that, because it's so useful, because you can put them down. Your team doesn't have to choose to use them. It's not like an egg, or it's not like a Moonlight, or it's not like an Aqua Ring where you have to be in the vicinity of it. You put those down. They'd be like, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do some damage, I'm gonna skirmish a little bit. Oh wait, let me just pick up a little snack and heal myself right back up.
Yeah, it's tough, buddy. It's especially because, like, you know, as we have a look at this replay here, the Kyogre was just giving such good healing. We're going to continue to see the domination that Esport Gear had in this game, but it's all about those final few moments that Supernova managed to pull back on. And I'm with you, as we stated when we were casting it, I think the Unite moves were just a little bit too early from Gear on a couple of their Pokemon there, and it just meant that they didn't have much else in that fight when the big Unite moves were going to be used by Supernova. It's a tough one, because, I mean, here again, Supernova continues to try and push on to this. They just cannot break through that front line. Zapdos continues to be so strong. Ickless, it was so difficult to find a KO on them. The eject buttons were so good from Ickless throughout this. But then the Lucario flank, the flank from Ceruledge as well, it was just so tough to break through that.
No, I agree with you 100%. And this is where I think we're in that same reasoning where I say Zapdos is dealable. It only dealt 70, I say only 75k, like that's not a massive amount of damage, but just look at all the Aeos energy just sitting around that base. As we look into this fight right now, this is where everything started to try and possibly go Supernova's way. Machamp was not found for a long time, unless it was by Ryotari. We see the full power Sai into the power nap, as well as the high voltage siege. No KOs suffered at all, but then you find Snorlax here again, not able letting to get anyone through. But this is a beautiful work by Seasons here. The X Scissor onto him into the Rubble Rouse, and you see Beach doing everything possible to try and keep Icarus alive. But whilst they focus on Icarus, they suffer a massive, and I mean massive, Revenant Rend.
Yeah, I gotta say that Sora was so on point with that Fluffy Cream Supreme, bro. That is how Supernova kept themselves in this. But I feel for our observers, because like we have to have this picture-in-picture, and a huge shout out to production for giving us that, because that fight broke up into two separate locations. We've got Lucario here at the Kyogre trying to get in with this close combat. Power-up punch ready to go. Zap Cannon coming in with the Thunderbolt as well. Sora spits out the damage here, throws it down onto the floor, and it looks like that's going to be enough as Zap Cannon lands. There goes the power-up punch. It was milliseconds from Skull being able to lock that one in, Lobo, but it's taken by Sora. And the opportunity for Supernova to cause the first upset here against that comp just taken away from them.
It's just so interesting to me. I wasn't so sure that Sweet Scent did all of that much damage. So I was just like, for that to be the thing that secured in all of that was kind of crazy. Now, let's talk about it. This is game number 2. So we've got Blaziken, we've got Mew, we've got Crustle, we've got Ceruledge, we've got Zapdos. Every 10 Pokemon that you just saw, I didn't want to go ahead and name them all. I mean, I could, but all of those are off the table. Crazy. I know, it is absolutely crazy that 10 Pokemon have been completely nullified in this comp. And now we're going to take Blastoise, we're going to take Megazord White, and we're going to take Sirfetch'd out of the game as well. At some point, Tano, we're not even going to have any defenders left to play, because in that game 1 we had Snorlax and Crustle, we had Psyduck as well. These supporters and these defenders are just, you're gonna run out of them.
You are. I mean, thank you so much, production, for putting that up there.
Absolutely.
I genuinely feel for the teams having to remember what Pokemon that was played in the previous one as you're trying to do this draft, bro. Sirfetch'd, though, I think will continue to be banned out. I think you cannot allow that Pokemon through, especially if you end up down to the lower side of these pools here, Lobo.
Now, this is a smart decision. I don't know if it is a smart decision, but also we've got the switch of the teams. So Supernova is on your purple side. Rework is going to be on your orange side. They've elected to pick first, and I believe here decide the map. So we've got a Groudon map coming up for you. This is an interesting decision coming out from the side of Supernova. They've actually elected to not go for a third ban, so leaving a extra Pokemon open. Maybe that was intentional. I don't know. That could be very interesting. So maybe if we get to a game 5, we see none of those 3 bans used at all.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me, bro. I mean, sometimes that's kind of what you gotta do when you're losing all these Pokemon. And the pickups, though, by Gear were so strong there. Vaporeon and Garchomp, 2 incredibly strong Pokemon. Icarus has got them. Miraidon as well, bro. Beach on the Suicune. I love the fact that Sora's got Blissey and Seasons is here on the Mamoswine, but they've got to build something else around that as well to Supernova, because that is a massive comp that Esport Gear have pulled out.
I mean, you said build around it. Give him a Venusaur. That Solar Beam is going to be hitting hard. I think Solar Beam and the enhanced Charge Beam for Miraidon have very similar ranges, whereas one's big burst damage, one is damage over time. Teeps was over the Greninja, but they have decided to go for the Mimikyu. Now, this is a little rodent that you and I have been having a lot of fun playing, and it has the ability to get into that back line. I mean, if it has a dedicated supporter, it heals enough by itself. Does that little Pawmont just throwing those little itty bitty hands. Look at him, so small but yet so powerful.
That he is. This is going to be a tough one, bro. I really like the beams coming in from Yikes, but I think right now Teeps has that one target being Icarus, but that is a impossible army to break through. to get to Ickless. Teeps has one heck of a job on their hands here to do just that. That is like going up against the Roman army, bro. Look at the size of that crowd control coming their way. The freezes. Suicune right now not only does insane crowd control, but probably does the same amount of damage as the biggest all-rounders in this game. So, I mean, Supernova, they do have the Mama Swine, and I think a good protection line for Yikes to drop those beams, but they have to be on point here.
Yeah, look, I also really like the Mega Gyarados pick from Starzerg as well. The main problem with that pick is getting that Mega Gyarados online as quickly as possible. I still think to date, the quickest Gyarados we've seen is 9 minutes 12 seconds. I mean, and that was due to Little Magikarp getting a KO on a central laner. So if that can be redone and that Mega Gyarados gets online very quickly, it could be a quick game too. But honestly, you and I, whenever we talk about Suicune and Vaporeon, I think we almost get a little bit of PTSD because we like to play the game, but those two Pokemon just make it so that it's so very hard to.
Bro, having Vaporeon on the Suicune on the other team just makes me feel a little bit sick. Seeing that on the screen, bro, it's just such a strong combo. Supernova here, they know they're going to have to come out the gate swinging. They have to get their Pokemon online as quick as possible. Seasons being really aggressive here is exactly how to do that. If they can find some good KOs, which a lane of Swinub and Bulbasaur is actually very good.
No, I agree. I mean, Swinub is probably one of the best early game Pokemon. I think it's one of those Pokemon that you really don't mind which evolution that you're on, whether you're on that Swinub, whether you're on that Piloswine, and eject button had to come out early. But look at where Mimikyu is right now. I believe that's a play rough coming out because that wasn't a scratch, but let's see what we decide to go. No, it is going to be Shadow Claw. I think Shadow Claw is the better bout here because you've got all those all-rounders to brawl with, but Vaporeon being online, Quasix is online. They're going to just get in the face and try and score 5. Ambitious, if I do say so myself, but Paumont is here as well.
Okay, right now, though, it's advantage onto the side of Supernova. The good Mimikyu rotation down here as we see them going into this top lane, trying to see if they can provide some assistance. Look at that Mega Meter on the Magikarp, nearly close to the biggest power spike in Pokemon Unite. Ryatori's not going to let that happen just yet, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I like the fact that central laners went to different lanes, my guy, because usually we see central laners go all the way to the same lane, but to spice it up and try and get momentum in each lane is exactly what you want to do. But Suicune, I think, has to be one of the best combinations to go with this Garchomp. Not Garchomp, yeah, full Gabite, but the other probably one we see is Eldegoss that pair really well with those top lane all-rounders. But Gyarados online, very nice and early, which we like to see, but you have to be very, very careful.
Difficulty is Esport Gear already have a decent early game, and they've done well to actually start winning it, and they yet have late game Pokemon on the side of this Garchomp, bro. It's a brilliant comp for them. Teeps is going to try and capitalize on that. It's going to be Trick Room that they're playing here as well. That's going to be really good for these team fights, actually, especially with those all-rounders that want to be in your face.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Mimikyu does get the better of Paumont in this one, but Paumont can throw hands with the best of them. They're going to try and get out, but no. Early game, Mimikyu with that Trick Room, with the movement, is just so strong. And you can see Mimikyu right now has got to be up there with some of the best all-rounders if you take away those Megas. Garchomp is there, but Mimikyu dangerously low. Gabite going to look for the KO. They do manage to get the KO with a beautiful Dragon Rush, even with all of the pressure that was on their Seasons. Couldn't get in there with an Ice Fang, but look at that enhanced charge beam. Altaria say bye-bye.
That is the difficulty as we nearly say goodbye to Ickless. Good shield coming through, but they do find them. Is that with the way that the Mimikyu is playing this Trick Room means you don't have that dash-in ability that Shadow Sneak has to try to get to Ickless. So Ickless is pretty much going to be able to do a lot of this damage uncontested in the back lane, and it's all down to Yikes to do their own damage with the beams to combat that.
I mean, there's the damage as well. Vaporeon notoriously hard to KO, and that Solar Beam is just going to hit its mark. We've got Registeel coming up. First off, Enhanced Charge Beam is there. I mean, they're going to try and step in. Is Piloswine, but there's the Play With Me coming out from there as well. The Paumont does have access to that full, that Zip Zap full charge Spark coming through, as we do have a Livid Outrage. So a lot of Unite moves used very early at the 6 minute. I say very early. It is the 6 minute mark, but I like the high output damage coming out from the side of Supernova because you got to do it to deal with this Vaporeon that is notorious for being just, getting away on one. But again, speaking of getting away on one, Starzerg turns tail to run away from the angry dragon.
All right, let's see what teams can do here as Raiatori is trying to get nice and fed up in this top lane, coming in with the claws. Big Beam connects as well. Garchomp down gives the advantage to Supernova here as they try and see if they can capitalize on it by going for the Regieleki. Hormot, though, is just on their way up as Skull sniffs the area for them to get on in. Regieleki with a good beam will be taken, though, by Supernova. Esport Gear on the back foot in this top lane. Ickless will continue to score down there. Another Big Beam's going to connect. And Esport Gear are going to accept the fact that they have to lose this pad.
Yeah, the problem with losing a speedster like Cerule Edge as well and Talonflame being banned out is that you have nothing to really dive on to that Venusaur in the backline. We've got Unite moves flying in, Bliss Assistance alongside Deliberate Outrage. Burning Anger to the face, says Supernova. Garchomp unable to pick up any KOs. Gyarados was the only one to fall, but this is the brilliance of Trick Room coming out because there is the damage reduction inside the Trick Room. We talked about it not being able to get on with the resets that Shadow Sneak provides. If you're in there brawling wherever you want, Tano, it doesn't matter if you're Mimikyu. Bright Future Meteor Storm gonna rain down, but it's gonna be countered with the Mammoth Mash.
Yeah, I mean, they've done enough, though, as Esport Gear to bounce back from that, but it's Supernova. That cook with it, bro. Massive beam once more. 231 points on the board. They saw what happened in the previous game. They're not allowing that to be the case here. Brilliant way to capitalize on the fact that you found a great pick onto that Garchomp, and you have just dominated that top lane. Now they come down to the bottom side, see if they can get a rotation onto this Reggie here. Classic's the only one trying to hold the zoning here. Starzerg knows that they're there. The rip continues on the side of Keeps. It's a Regirock. This will be massive for Supernova to take. Gotta get away from those beams, though. Connection comes in from Yikes once more. The dive goes onto the Mimikyu, but it ain't gonna work from Esport here. The beams are too much. Dip that full chance. Spark trying to come through. They do go down on the side of Venusaur, but they find a KO for their sacrifice, and Teeps is going to get more points in here as Supernova look to close this mid-game.
I mean, they want to close this out. This is almost reverse of what we saw in game one. However, it's not a full shout-out just yet. Nice little Dragon Rush to try and push Mamoswine back. If they can pick up a KO on the Mamoswine, that's going to be huge to try and put a push on to this bottom side. 3.5 minutes left until the Groudon decides to show their face. Until they arise, that alarm clock has not been wrong just yet. So Groudon gets to sleep just a little bit more. See if Rework Esport Gear can find their way back into this game. They've now rotated to the top objective. I love the urgency to try and get these objectives. They want the experience. They want the levels. And again, you're not going to go in there, are you, if you're Seasons? You could have picked up a Ice Fang onto Ickless, but again, it would have cost you more than you would have gained. We're in the final stretch, Tana. These levels are looking all right across the board. 2 level 13s on the side of Supernova with that Mimikyu and that Venusaur. Just want to get that Mega Gyarados up as well, but 3 level 12s across the side of Rework Esport Gear. It's all going to come down to that final fight once again. These scores relatively close if you count for the gulping down of a few hundo burgers.
That is true. I mean, 2 T1s up on the side of Supernova, the 1 up on the side of Esport Gear, so we know how these objectives play. It's so difficult to defend those T1s once a huge buff is on the other side. Starzerg has to use the Dragon Current here. I'm not sure that was the call, bro. 20 seconds out from the final objective. Looks like they may stay on their feet. No, Raiatori's going to make a no to that one as Hormot finds the KO. This is going to be the fight. Living Outrage is there. Verdant Anger as well. Huge Beam will come in, but they're not able to do the damage. The Aquamarine Splash takes all of it instead. And Esport Gear are cleaning up Supernova here, Lobo. They had the opportunity, but they just lost it in their hands. Mammoth Mash is going to come through here, trying to zone out Esport Gear as they go for the rip. Superstar Slam's going to go down from Skull, and they find the KO onto Blissey. Right now, Supernova have no way to get into this Groudon, trying to dash in, but it's going to be taken by Esport Gear. And now with this buff, they're going to take down Supernova 1 by 1. Can they score the points, Lobo?
I mean, a Hunderberg is going to go into both of these tier 1s, courtesy of Garchomp and the Suicune. They brought it back, but they are still in the lead as Supernova no longer. 3 Hunderburgers come through, and unfortunately, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, my guy. If you're in that zone. You take away one of the biggest unite moves and one of the biggest heavy hitters on your team in that Mega Garchomp. Force that unite out early. The Bliss Assistants had to go on to the Mamoswine, which is just not what you want in that instance. Mimikyu with that Trick Room was so far away from any of that action that, put the Trick Room down, dash across it, but then you're outside of your Trick Room again to be part of that fight. A lot of things went wrong for Supernova in that final fight, and Rework Esport Gear, they're not just going to let you have it. They're going to punish you for that. We got Mega Gyarados online once again.
I don't know if they can get enough. There's a Hundo Burger in the top lane once more. Verdant Anger will come through, and again, not able to find any KOs. Good endless ice spikes here by Beach is just going to lock in this game for Esport Gear, and I can't wait to watch the review, bro. I think Classics has been monumental in keeping Esport Gear in this game with their healing, but it's the fact that Supernova had the momentum. It was their game to lose. It was just down to that final fight, mate, and I just think that Dragon Current meant that Supernova had to full send that one, and it wasn't the right time.
No, they had to full commit because they had committed to that Mega Evolution, and if you don't fall on to your one of your key plays in there, you can let let Mega Gyarados go down. I think that goes better for them if the Mega isn't used and Gyarados just gets caught out there. I don't know what the KO timer would have been. It would have been difficult, but it would have been salvageable, I will have to say. I mean, even with all the domination that they showed in that game, only 7 KOs coming out from the side of Teeps, 5 for Yikes as well. I mean, we'll see it come through, but Quazix on that Vaporeon, you were right. Mega Gyarados almost picked up the KO on Ryotari in that central lane, but the Aqua Ring healing plus the counter into the Livid Outrage, I think that allowed it, but you saw Starzerg was surrounded. Beach was there, Icarus was there, Ryotari was there. Skull, I think, was the only person that wasn't there, probably putting some pressure somewhere else on the map that allowed the victory to come through for Rework Esport Gear. So far, flawless. And I mean, they are being very fearless with these comps right now.
Well, bro, it's now match point, set point for Esport Gear, but it did feel like Supernova had connected. They had the synergy. They'd done what needed to be done to really take control of that game. I'm with you. I think you were in the lead coming into that final few moments there. Over 200 points in the lead. You could have been patient with that final fight. Let your Gyarados go down and wait for that to come back in. You're just going to keep an eye on that Groudon and make sure they don't rip it. But it's just unfortunate. Esport Gear are going to lock that in as we have a look at the rest of this game. And it did feel like Gear did a really good early game, but round about this mid stage, as soon as we started to see the connections coming in from Teeps and the beams from Yikes, Supernova started to control this map.
I agree. Teeps being very forward fronting right now. All the beams from Yikes are going to where the Mimikyu is. Thank God that friendly fire is not turned on in this game. Otherwise, that Mimikyu going to be having some questions for their background attacker. This was the initial push here, I thought, onto that tier 1 and then onto the tier 2, because they opened up that tier 2 very early. The 22 goes in, they do the math, they get a nice, brilliant 34, but then this was the Unite moves, the Dragon Current, Bliss Assistance, Verdant Anger. I mean, they told Gear to go back to the Pokemon Center.
They really did. The eject button from Yikes as well to make sure the boost is going to find the KO, bro. It was so good from Supernova. They're going to be rather upset about how this ended up being, bro. I would have loved to have heard the VC, because I think the call was probably, let's go in and make the fight now. I just think it was probably a little bit too early before we said hello to that final objective. I mean, look at this. They are in the lead by over 200 points with 50 seconds left. The ball is in the court of Esport Gear. Make them have to do something.
No, I agree. And this is where positioning probably could have been the better thing here. But we see the big amounts of damage coming on to the Machamp. But here we go. Look at what is around. Look at what is around the Dragon Current to separate Mega Gyarados away. 209 on the clock. And they are investing so many Unite moves. But look at where Ryotari is right now. The play with me in to be healing. And the eject from Ryotari was massive to stay in that fight. And then they're on the retreat. They're on the hop. And the enhanced charge beam is just too much. We see the Polmont go for the rip. They charge up the Supercell Slam. But Skull is just looking for these targets. And there's the pressure coming out from that Polmont. Again, you got to give it up to Quazinx in that one. They're the reason that Garchomp can come back and they can do that very, very fast rip coming in, Tano. That is the main, I want to say the way that Rework Esport here turn their momentum around, because I get Supernova wanting to push their momentum, push the pressure, but at some points, you know, we talk about it with a lot of pro players. There are times where you push. There are times where you take your foot off the gas.
I'm just rewatching it on the stream now, bro, and it's so unfortunate because that Verdant Anger comes in, would have KO'd the Garchomp, but it does end up going under the Play With Me by Mimikyu. That may have changed that final fight because Garchomp comes back in and just really cleans up Supernova. So here we go. It's now set point by Esport Gear. These are your bans. A full 20 Pokemon are currently banned out for you to be able to pick. We've got 6 more bans that are going to continue to come through here as Ickless is going to ban out the Talonflame.
I mean, Talonflame's a good shout here. Blastoise not going to get a look in as well. So up on top of the, what was it, 5, 10, 15, 20 Pokemon that are banned out already, Tano, 26 Pokemon are gonna be not allowed to play this game. But, you know, I mean, we have a Unite roster of close to 90 plus Pokemon, so there are going to be some that we are going to see. Glaceon going to get banned. Megazard Y is not going to get a look. Blastoise not going to get a look. Neither is Surfetch. So now is the time. Also, both teams have swapped sides again. So I believe it's going to be Rework Esport Gear's first pick. And I believe we have got ourselves, I can't even see what map that is. I believe that is...
It's going to be Rayquaza, bro. Yeah,
Rayquaza.
Yeah.
I was so confused because we haven't seen Rayquaza been used at all.
Well, with these best of 5s, bro, I believe we're just following the rules of UCS. So it'll start off with Kyogre, then Groudon, and then Ray. And then if we do end up, it will be down to the teams who decide after that one. Surfetch continues to be banned out here, and I think we will continue to see that for the entirety of the day. Seasons is going to take the Snorlax away. We might have to have a look at that one, though, because Snorlax was played in Game 1.
Yeah, I think this might have to go again because Snorlax was played in Game 1. They cannot play that game. And we talked about it before as well, because, I mean, you know, there's no way for the players to track this. They need to be able to track this somehow, especially if Fearless is the thing. We'll get word with production and see what's going to happen with that. But Supernova picking up the Snorlax is going to be questionable. But Umbreon finally makes it out of the ban jail, so it doesn't get banned off, so it gets first pick, which is kind of classic. Going through here, Clefable going to come through as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they decide to pick up any speedsters with a lot of dashes with a Clefable on the board. Speaking of speedsters, Ickless on the prancing pony. You'll love to see it, but we're going to come back to us because I believe that is going to be a remake. I don't know what's going to happen, because if that's a game loss for picking a Pokemon that is banned out, that's just going to be a straight game win and a set win for Rework Esport Gear.
We'll have a look, buddy, because the difficulty is that, of course, this is completely new for everybody in Full Fearless. Like, it's something where everybody's still getting used to it. There is no official tournament that has ever been done with Full Fearless for Pokemon Unite. We are literally leading the way here. So no wonder there's going to be some mistakes. It's bound to happen. There's 20 Pokemon already banned, and you've got to remember that as a player as you're trying to pick your Pokemon. It's very tough. I can understand why these mistakes happen as we get ready to see what goes on with this next. I think Esport Gear as well, they're going to want to continue to fight. They want to win off the back of their own capability rather than a mistake by an opposite player. So we'll see how that goes, bro. But this is why it's so exciting, right? Full Fearless, it's genuinely one of these things where you have to continue to adapt, continue to think about what you're going to use, not only in this, the first game, but also later on down the line. You can't take all those really strong Pokemon because you have to be able to use them later on in the set.
No, I agree with you 100%. And, you know, it already happened as well. We're now starting to see, I mean, the first 2 games, we did see a lot of meta Pokemon come through. We saw the Megas, Mega Lucario, we saw Mega Gyarados, we're seeing Mimikyu, we're seeing Miraidon. But now, just in the tail end of game, this is the start of game 3. Apart from the Snorlax pick, we're seeing Eldegoss, we're seeing Galarian Rapidash, we're seeing Umbreon, because it has to come out of that ban jail. Otherwise, we talked about, you're going to run out of options for your defenders, at some point you're going to run out of these options. So there's going to be interesting comps coming all the way through. But Tano, as we take a little break, I just wanted to highlight my little Mimikyu lamp over here. It looks so nice.
It's adorable.
I mean, the Mimikyu got banned off as well. So please, guys, go check out the Mimikyu lamps. They're so nice. But anyway, I love that because, again, we're just waiting to see what the fallout is going to be. Because sometimes I think giving a game loss might be a little bit harsh. Again, when you have to remember, I don't know how it works. You need to find a way. But I think it's just going to be completely redone. Maybe they use the same bans as well, but I think it's just going to be a completely reworked game. Unfortunately for us, Tano, we get to see all the Pokemon because of our lovely production and graphic artists who set up these layouts for us, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely right, buddy. We are privileged here to be able to see what was currently banned out. Players, unfortunately not. So we're going to continue here with these bans. Looks like they're going to be pretty much the same as they try and work out how the picks are going to go. It was a very early pick on Snorlax, so I'd imagine it's just going to be a completely brand new draft.
Yeah, I do agree. I wonder, Sableye feels different to me, unless it was banned out primarily, but it was banned out in that game number 1. So how quickly we forget. But look, Quasinx is going to lock in the Umbreon. Season's going to lock in the Trevenant. So we're now running out of defenders here, my guy. If this does not end, we could see a full shift as we come through. But we have seen people play other Pokemon in that defender role. Primarily, we saw it yesterday in the ACL with the Delmise being played in that tank role, just sitting there and absorbing all the damage. Skull's going to pick up the Darkrai. I like the Eldegoss. You and I have always been a big fan of the big cotton flower.
Yeah, we have, and it's so great to see it coming out in this game 3 here, buddy. It's one of those where it's a core support pick, and this is what we were talking about, right? We're on about how these defender picks have been getting, you know, shorter and shorter because of how many you pick. It means it's so risky to run double defender here in full Fearless Draft, bro, because that's 2 defenders you can no longer use in this game. It looks like Esport Gear are just going big, knowing that they're currently in set win. They're going massive. Starzerg's going to pull out the Aegis here, which people have felt does pretty decent in this meta right now, but you have to get a good early game off for it, and keeps on that bear. Could be Dark Bear here, but Water Bear has been the go-to. I think with those builds, though, got to be Dark Bear, right?
I mean, this is another thing as well. I agree. Yeah, the eject button usually means a Dark Bear, so you can get a nice eject Ebon Fist coming through as well. That is usually the play that we go. Ryotaro going to pick up the Empoleon. You and I have come across a lot of Empoleons in our solo queue games. Very, very difficult to deal with, especially when you have a support healer on it, because Empoleon deals a lot of damage itself. Ickless on the Inteleon. The fact that Inteleon has not been picked until game 3 is crazy to me, but this is what Fearless Draft is all about. Yikes is bringing the Sylveon.
Yeah, this is crazy, bro. This is why we love Fearless Draft. Is it going to be Hyper Voice? Is it going to be Mystical Fire? No X speed on it. It's the full heal at the moment. I think this could end up being Hyper Voice, which would be a little bit crazy, but it is very good for at least getting rid of those defenses on those defenders, mate. So, but again, nothing to get on Ickless. That's the difficulty that Supernova has had for 2 games back to back at the moment, and right now, unless it's the Blue Bear, which you would expect, but that build looks like Red Bear from Teeps. Ickless looks like they're going to have a free game once again.
I mean, perhaps they could go with the eject button here, even on Blue Bear. I mean, we still have the single move choice, which I think is probably the most uniting thing about Pokemon Unite, is that I haven't seen anybody, I haven't spoken to anybody, I haven't seen anything on Twitter about it. Nobody has gone, yeah, I like the fact that I can only choose one move here. I mean, whether you like the decision or not, it is a decision to make, but we are still seeing mistakes being made. I mean, Pokemon that you and I have played, sometimes we're like, oh no, I've got the wrong build. And sometimes you're testing out builds and that they're not the builds that you want to actually play. But I mean, we'll see what we do, because we can never understand the mind of a pro player.
Nah, you certainly cannot. Let's kick this one off, though, bro. This is the moment for Esport Gear to lock in their final slot. Supernova have to go on the reverse sweep here if they want any opportunity to say hello to those winner finals.
And what do we say? The reverse sweep is one of the hardest things to do in Pokemon Unite. I know you and I have witnessed one before, and we were absolutely ecstatic when we got to, but it is a Kobfu, and what does that mean? It means you get invaded. Unfortunately, Teeps is not going to take control of their own central area, which I'm very surprised that Quazix doesn't just go and take the red buff as well as having the blue buff, but they are in danger of being knocked out with that blue buff as well. Again, managing to secure, but this is a very strong start for Rework Esports Gear. It's always good when an invade comes off.
Yeah, it has worked a treat, and Kung-Fu is one of the easiest Pokemon to invade. They have to go back for that Baltoy. They're not even at level 5 yet as the 850s come on in. Top lane is just going to be absorbed by Esport Gear as they take everything Supernova had to held up in this top lane right now. Plenty of points will rain in, and still no Urshifu on the field. This early game has worked perfectly for Esport Gear.
It is Mystical Fire coming out from the side, which I do like from Yikes, because it is a tank side build. The Melook's going to go on, and I do believe that Quazix is going to take... No, it is Sylveon that actually managed to get it. It is a red bear. We were right. So no blue bear coming into here, and I kind of see the reasons as to why, because if you're a blue bear and you just go in, you've got the Lapras, you've got the Umbreon, but the Umbreon we know is playing Melook. We haven't seen what Inteleon is playing. It is Felstinger, so that could be indication that it is Snipe Shot. And again, if you're stuck in that Melook, it just makes you a target to go for. No Regidrago this time round because we are on good old Rayquaza, good old day one Thea Sky Ruins. So just those Altara is going to be taken in the middle.
I love how everybody still rotated for it, though. So they were still there, ready for it. We got used to these new maps now, matey. As Teeps is going to dive in here, looking to see if they could get a nice throat chop and a wicked blow built up onto Classics. Not able to, though, so they're going to have to back on up now. Supernova are just going to try and hold strong down here, but look at that Darkrai. Skull is ready for an ambush. Teeps again in this bush. Skull knows exactly where they are. Snipe Shot is going to land, and we come on in with that Dark Pulse Buddy, looking to see if they can find a KO. Umbreon will. Classics takes down the Dark Bear, and now Supernova don't have the secure they need to win.
No, I really like it. What they lack in secure, I mean, they're doing that well in the top path. If you can have a look, the combination of Aegislash and Eldegoss taking out the Empoleon by itself. I do really like this Sylveon here. Once it gets to that late game, it does tend to fall off just a little bit, but it has the ability to be so very tanky with that Draining Kiss and stay in, especially if it's got any kind of buffs. Those snipe shots from Ickless are hitting from downtown. They're going to avoid the Wood Hammer, and they're going to take a snipe shot to the face. We don't support deforestation, but it does seem like Ickless does.
I mean, it means that they get the points on the board right now. This is very close between these two teams, but Esport Gear right now just taking a slight lead. We've got Unite moves ready to go on the side of Supernova with that Fairy Frolic, which could be pretty huge coming into this next fight, buddy, as it looks like they just want to look to brawl the Supernova. They want to find experience from Esport Gear and do exactly what the Rework team likes to do to them.
Yeah, exactly. But however, Rework is in the lead. They're going to go to this bottom lane as they defend. Ickless is in trouble here, and they're going to get caught because the diving ability from Aegislash with that wide guard. And unfortunately, they did not take kindly to Ickless's snipe shots as they went through. Umbreon is in here. Moonlight France is going to come through alongside with the Perish Song. I mean, Aegislash is in there. They're in that shield form, but gets chucked into the worst nightmare. Bad dreams and all. 2 KOs coming through, unable to put the pressure. But look at that Empoleon in the top ad. This is the way I like to see teams play. 4 players pressuring one side, another player getting scores in and assisting the team in a completely different way.
It's how Gear like to do it, bro. They will put pressure in one lane and allow one of their team to go score points. That has got them the lead extended here at 178 points to 142. Supernova, though, are still trying to grab themselves some experience. These snipe shots will continue to land, mate, and the difficulty is Eldegoss does not do enough healing to deal with that on a couple of targets.
I agree with you, but that was 3 snipe shots in a row. That's 4 snipe shots in a row. Ickless just knows where everybody is going to be. But you have a look here. Aegislash trying to find their way around. They can get in with those boosted dashes that come through with the Sacred Sword. But unfortunately, they were stopped by Regirock that time. And the combination of the mean look. Darkrai is going to go in. Azure Spy Vision as well is going to be popped out. The snipe shots hitting. Ickless is doing big amounts of damage. Sovereign Slide. Inteleon slides in with style as they take a Regirock off. That's a full team wipe coming out from the side of the Rework Esport Gear team. They have shifted gears, and pardon the pun there, Tana. They have shifted gears, and they are looking to keep going and push this game and get their score.
Mate, give us more puns. We love puns over here in this stream. What I am thinking is, why have I not been playing Empoleon, bro? I mean, we've been loving the Palmot at the moment, but boy, that Sovereign Slide straight onto the opposition, and it stopped that Trevenant from being able to get to where they wanted to take that objective. Esport Gear now getting themselves the vibe they were looking for. 39 points on the board. They have extended their point lead. The rip on Regieleki looking to come through from Supernova. Classics has the vision at the moment. Snipe shot trying to go. Massive block by Seasons though. Moonlight Prance will land. It does stop all that shielding, but Classics just has to run. X speed is gone, and Regieleki will be taken by Supernova.
I mean, Supernova weren't vibing with the way Rework Esport Gear were trying to push the pressure there. We always play for the vibes here. They're going to try and go for the same play that they did before, but let the Regieleki put the pressure in the top pad, go to the bottom pad, and try and get some easy dunks in. However, Rework Esport Gear, they've seen it coming. They've played against these teams. They know what they're doing, but here is what I like to see. The shift as they go. They send 3 members top lane. It's just an Empoleon. Empoleon, I think, had to use the Sovereign Slide, but look how quickly the eject comes out as well. The Hydro Cannon not going to be able to sustain, but there's the jumps. Not too many scores going in, just a 33 coming in from the Aegislash. Tana, I did want to mention, we're starting to see a difference in game style heading on into even into just game 3. Pokemon that we're not used to seeing, like the Sylveon, like even the Lapras right now. It's changing the way these early games and these momentums are going for both teams. We saw in both games, score early, score big, put the pressure on. But this game right now, as we're 3 games in and 20 Pokemon banned off, it's looking a little bit closer. And I don't want to make any direct correlations, but could that be because of the Fearless Draft?
I think that it's definitely having an impact here, buddy. You have those massive Pokemon that certain teams like to play that they no longer have access to. Supernova, they've found what works for them in this one, and they've managed to keep it close at least, but it's all down to this approach here. Gear know that Supernova have to make a move. They want to play aggressive like they continue to do so. These snipe shots gives them the poke damage that they need. Look at the flank coming in, though. Still trying to see if they can get round onto the side of Ickless here. That is how this game is going to be decided. They dive on in with the Aegislash. The blocks come as well, and Empoleon is going to dive through there, but look at the way Esport Gear answers. They have found the KO onto the side of Ickless. Seasons breaks up the entirety of that fight, and that keeps Supernova on their feet for the meantime. That pulse is going to be used again, gets away from Yikes in the meantime, but then Sovereign Sword will come through for Ryatori, and that's going to do enough to cause a huge amount of damage onto the side of Yikes, but it's the coup de grace that's going to work a treat for Supernova. Lobo, Esport Gear, right now just down to their lowly Pokemon. Skull trying to get into this Rayquaza and see if they can find it with the Dark Pulse, but they're getting zoned out right now, and the Secure will be connected onto the side of Supernova, and it's Ray. They can go and score and take us to a game 4.
They can take us to a game 4, and what we always have our sayings: when there's a Groudon, the game is on. When there's a Kyogre, the game is not over. But when there's a Ray, there is always a way. The field has been broken as well. 1 shield down for Rayquaza. Azure Spy Vision has been used. The fact that Ickless went down and still has access to that move. We're still at 267 to 312. 2 members down for the side of Rework Esport Gear. Only 1 member down for the side of Supernova. But these boosters are hitting strong. They're scoring. But with 30 seconds to go, I don't know if Rework Esport Gear can manage to get it. They might have access to this Lapras Express to take them far away. Now there's more members down for the side of Supernova. There is a chance, Tana, but with 17 seconds left to go, it is a slim one.
Not going to be close enough. Fairy Frollet's going to be used there as well. And with Yikes looking to get the good slow onto the side of Ickless here, they don't have shields themselves. Of course, the way this game works with Rayquaza, bro, is you can't take the shield away no matter how many people you KO. And I said game 4, I got ahead of myself, bro. It's actually game 3 that Supernova are now going to take us to. They've got the 1 point on the board. They have to do that 2 more times if they want to take this win.
I mean, every time we say it, the reverse sweep in Pokemon Unite is so hard to do. But, I mean, Supernova have just taken their first step, so they are not going to get a clean sweep in this semifinal, our first semifinal of the day. And if the rest of the semifinals go this way, I mean, they just do not want Gear to have a clean path to the final. So now, instead of 20 Pokemon, Tano, we have 30 Pokemon being banned off, plus the 6 from the ban stages. I mean, I think we were missing 1 Pokemon last time because they just decided not to ban a Pokemon, and then we got the remake of the draft. So maybe we don't get any Pokemon banned, which would be incredible because we still have a Megazard Y, a Blastoise, and a Surfetch being able to be played. I think we still need to get confirmation from production. If 1 Charizard is used, are all of the Charizards banned out?
We did get that confirmation. Sorry to interrupt you, buddy. They are 3 separate licenses, so you can still play the other Charizards.
Yeah, okay. So that is going to be interesting to see because, I mean, I guess that works with all of the other Pokemon that are Mega. So regular Gyarados is still able to be played. Regular Lucario is still able to be played as well. But unfortunately, for your Pokemon like Urshifu, it's not a separate license, so you're not going to be able to play that again. But however, I'm seeing this, Tano. Maybe this is just because it's Unite DB. Scyther and Scizor are not separate licenses. They are the same licenses. However, on Unite DB, they are considered separate. So it's going to be, I don't know. It's probably the fact that how can you tell if you're going to play a Scyther or a Scizor again?
Don't get me on this. I will talk about this until the cows come home. People will be fed up of me talking about how Cypher doesn't have its own independent license, despite the fact we can no longer pick our moves in the game. Okay, I'm already getting heated thinking about it, bro. Here we go. This is the recap. As we see, it was an incredibly close game between these two, buddy. I think it was a brilliant answer by Supernova. Good holds, though, by Esport Gear. And you called it. I think maybe because we are so deep in this full Fearless draft now, it means they're picking up Pokemon that they maybe haven't had as much practice on because of the fact that it's full Fearless.
No, and a lot of the damage that I saw rework Esport Gear, it came out from Ickless on that Inteleon. You saw the snipe shots were hitting a treat. And again, the flank that they got onto at the Rayquaza pit, we'll see it when it comes up. I mean, the Sovereign Slide was also working a treat. Was it for Ryotaro? Or maybe that's just the Ryotaro diff. Any Pokemon, any all-rounder that they managed to play. This here was a little questionable as well. They pick up Ickless. This is I think the second time right now that 3 members have combined to pick up Ickless. And of course, we had the interview with Ickless earlier today. I mean, when you've got a player like this, you gotta pick them out. They almost got away having to try and pop those ejects. Nice eject coming out from, I do believe it was Teeps on the Red Bear to avoid any kind of damage coming through. But there's a lot of resources being used on Seasons right now.
Oh, the heal comes through. That's massive from Sora. Then a huge Fairy Frolic from Yikes as well is going to land on 2 of them. Seasons was instrumental in this final fight, bro. It was crazy. And as I say that, he whiffs the Horn Leech. But that was a good Sovereign Slide again coming out. But the Wood Hammer does not miss. That's free. Lines them up like a treat for that coup de grace to land, mate.
I mean, coup de grace, it has such a good animation. And again, it's an execute unite move, which means if you execute, you build up the entire stacks on Aegislash, and Aegislash's stacks allow it to do its incredible shing, for lack of a better term. But it also got block, which allows it to heal. And it was the straight fist to the face of a giant green dragon that secures that for Supernova. Fun game all round, but this is now where we get to the nitty gritty. We're at game number 4, my guy. Full Fearless. The first time I think you and I are witnessing full Fearless. We've casted a lot of partial Fearless over the years, have we? Ever since this concept came into fruition, it's been and ahed over. But I think it's a really nice way to shake up the meta. And, you know, whenever we get these patches and we get these notes from the producers, they always have these little descriptions about how these Pokemon are actually faring in fights right now. And maybe this is a fun way to really ensure that the entirety of the game is balanced for its competitive side. Thoughts?
We hope, bro. We hope. You know, that's all we can do. I think if you do wanna, and this is why I do think the western side of this game is a little bit far away before Fearless comes in, because to do Fearless, you have to have a really good balanced game. I think right now it's probably in a state where you can do it, at least in these best of fives, because there's so many strong Pokemon in this game, and it's down to the team on how they want to play that out for the entirety of the set. Right now, it's on Supernova to make sure that they can lock in enough Pokemon here to take us to a game 5. They've swapped sides right now. Look at the amount of Pokemon on that screen right now, chat, that are banned out.
I mean, I feel like I'm looking at Unite DB. Can I click on any of these icons? Is it going to come up with the move names? If only Twitch streams were interactive, you could click on it, you could see what Crossel actually does. Blastoise still not going to be allowed through. Neither is Sirfetch'd. That shows in what position these two Pokemon are placed right now in the current meta, and that is very damn high. And again, a Serena ban. We're going to see these bans come through because it's full Fearless as well. But Megazard Y also not going to be allowed to be played.
Nope, I think those are going to pretty much stay constant here, bro. I think until, I mean, even if they do, to be honest, you use all these defenders and it's like, okay, Blastoise is pretty much the only thing left. If you still ban it out, you're going to have a camp with no defender, bro. That's the way that this is going to go. Let's have a look at what our first pick is going to be for Supernova here. Still some very strong Pokemon that you can first pick.
Absolutely.
Mimikyu is on the board. Wait, no, that's been banned out, bro.
No.
I did the same mistake as the previous ones, mate.
It's right in front of us. He's right there. He's right there above Venusaur. I mean, absolutely no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. Chat, let him know you're not happy with him. But Slowbro being picked off, I think Slowbro is one of the best defenders. Wigglytuff is a Pokemon that you and I have got a love-hate relationship with. Let's say that. But I like this double supporter core coming out from the side of Rework Esports here.
Again, having to use those pseudo defenders really on the side of that Wigglytuff, mate, because of how many have been used already. Let's see what Supernova are going to do in response. They are working out what they can play right now, mate. They're like, what is actually pick-upable in this set? Clefable will be the go-to here, knowing that Blissey was used in the previous game. Let's see what the all-rounder is going to be. Buzzwole is going to make it to the field here in this fourth game.
Yeah, look, I like that as well. I mean, Buzzwole works with any kind of sort of healer coming up in the background, and Ickless is hovering over something that I really, really like. I think it's a Pokemon that has gone unnoticed in the current patch, but Chandelure is so very strong, and now this is also something I really want to see. It's the Delmice. We have only ever seen one other team pick up the Delmice recently, and that is MTZ, because Amara just loves that big ghostly wheel. But it is a very strong, and you talk about pseudo defenders, it can be played in that defender slot with all the shields that Delmice can get.
Yay. Teeps looks like they're going to pull out the Greninja. I like that here. The thing is, with not having any speedsters on the board, double ranged attacker works, and we've seen that multiple times, but it looks like Gear are going to go with the same, with the double ranged attacker as well, instead of looking for that speedster side of things. Finally, Dragapult is coming out into these games. I think that is pretty strong for eSport Gear.
I really like the Dragapult pick here over, I forgot what they were hovering over before. I really like the Dragapult pick here because it's an A-Press Pokemon. I mean, it does so well, especially when you look at, I mean, and I always like to put you on the spot here. I'll put myself on the spot here, unless you want to put me on the spot. But it feels like there's a lot more of a cohesiveness coming out from the side of Rework Esports Gears comp. You've got the Wiggly that can go in and sing. It can stop the Buzzwole. It can stop the Slowbro. It can stop the Clefable. It doesn't rely on any kind of dashing. And once you put anyone to sleep, they can be hooked by Skull, and then they can be flamed down by Ickless and the side of the Dragapult. On the other side, the gravity's not really going to work here for Clefable because there's not that much dashing going on the side of Rework Esports Gear's comp. So the heals are going to be massive. It's just up to me whether they decide to play Scald or Telekinesis. Scald, Surf, or Telekinesis or Amnesia. Probably the Amnesia, just because of all the damage that... I mean, when you look at it, Rework Esports Gear have a very high damage comp.
Yeah, and that's the worry, because I think even with the Amnesia, bro, I think they out-damage the healing that you can do on the side of that slow, bro. So I think Scald kind of has to be the route here. You want to go with that slowdown that you can do on the opposition. So the only way, realistically, that they win this game on the side of Supernova is if they can limit the damage that Ickless and Ryatori can do. They have to stop them from being able to escape. And Scald would be a good way of doing that and open the gate for teams to go in with the KOs. Here we go, buddy. It is still set match for Esports Gear here on your orange side. Supernova looking to fight back for the reverse sweep here on your purple side.
Look, I'm also very curious. I'm very interested to see how this match goes. I want to see if this Pikachu is going to go for the traditional. We are seeing a lot of Volt Tackle come out, but Volt Tackle into the Thunder could also be very, very useful. Or full Mage Pikachu build here as well. I mean, we talk about the double range all attackers. You need to give space for your Greninja to schmoove and groove as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that goes. We've got Dracolock already coming into that top path. As soon as Dracolock is here, it can start to get those KOs. But we do have a Greninja here as well. Just look at the A pressing coming out. Dracolock, you don't want to go down right now.
Oh, gonna have to use the eject button there at the side of Starzerg as well, but
there's no HP bar.
None, bro. This is it. Like, that is why Dragapult is so good. I mean, they're not even at Dragapult yet, but you have so much damage that you can drop. Already got Starzerg's eject button here as they're going to go in for these 850s. And look at the way Ryatori is just going to rotate round. They've got Classics in their face. They can't get close to that Dracloak, and they find their first stat.
I love the fact that, usually leaving range attackers in at that bottom lane is always a risky business. But leaving someone like your Litwick, which we know takes a lot of experience to get leveled up. Clefable does have the Moonlight healing, but also the fact is we do have the hyperspace holes coming out from Hooper, which is going to be massive. Look at the shields coming out from Delmice.
Oh, bro, Starzerg is like, please, Sora, keep me healed. But that's not an easy task against this combo and the damage coming in. Moonlight will keep them on their feet at least. Regidrago is about to say hello to Thea Sky Ruins here. Starzerg is still looking for that level 5. Has just come through. Is it going to be Leech Life? Are they going for super power here? That's going to be the question.
We have got Whirlpool coming in as well. Now, when I speaking to some of the other EU players, when we're just in a little bit of a watch party yesterday watching the ACL, Whirlpool didn't seem the best choice of moveset because they can just walk out of the Whirlpool. It doesn't give you that unstoppable, but there's the Sing, and along with the Leech Life as well, Hooper picks up a KO on the opposing team's central lane, and now the the Litwick is here. The Flamethrowers are gonna hit because, again, once you hit that Tano, the cooldown is so strong. But, I mean, Dracolock not being here to help with those KOs is massive because we know it has that built-in attack weight.
It does. I mean, they're trying to find KOs in the bottom lane against Pikachu, which is not an easy task either as a one-on-one, but it does mean that what they've done is capitalize on having most of their team in the top lane and back off this Buzzwole. Right now, it's 7 minutes, mate, and nobody's in this top lane from Supernova. They've had to full send down here, and they have to capitalize on that. Opens up the door for Flamethrower to hit those KOs alongside that Dragapult here. Only Beach that is able to defend them so far. Classics is running down here trying to see if he can get there.
Yeah, absolutely. We also saw it was Telekinesis and Surf coming out. We see the Hooper going in for the stun. There's the Telekinesis pull, but Greninja's going to try and come in. It is Mage Pikachu coming out as well, which is going to be very Ignite. Ignite is going to come out to take out the Slowbro. So there's the defenders gone. And now Dragapult is online. Chandelure managing to secure that. The heals coming in from the Clefable. The Follow Me comes out because the gravity is absolutely useless here. But now Ryatori wants to go and try and find those KOs with the Dragon Dust because they do such enhanced amount of damage. I would love to see the KOs that Dragapult has got. If we could see that in the Spectate, it would be an absolutely wonderful thing to see how that built-in attack weight is going.
The thing is, right now, Esport Gear just have much better damage potential, bro. The Greninja and the Pikachu, even though it is Mage Pika, and shout out Yikes, by the way, I absolutely love Mage Pikachu, isn't enough to deal with this Dragapult and Chandelier combo. Trying to get them with the hook here as they come in is Skull, but they're not able to find anybody with that one. But still, 171 points to 53 right now. Plenty of stacks on that inbuilt attack weight for Ayatori. This is Esport Gear building up the momentum they're so used to having.
I mean, Iglis was talking to us about the Fearless Draft, how competitors do like the Fearless Draft because it makes the game more interesting. I feel like Quasix is having so much more fun on this weekly than any other defender that they've had to play so far because they can just get in there and the damage rains in with the double attackers coming through. They found the Slowbro Slowbro can put themselves to sleep if they want to, so they don't need help from Quasix on that side. 53 to 213. The Dazzling Gleam comes in as the Dragon Darts and the boosters are going to come through. But as much as the Leech Life is going to try and take you, there's the ultimate. The ultimate Soul Slam comes through from Boswell, takes out a KO. Dragapult gets sent back to the Pokemon Center as well. Greninja could find Iglis here, but the Sing combination comes through, and as they try to go through for the Surf, they run in to the Dazzling Gleam.
This is it with these ranged attackers right now, buddy. You may be able to get in and find that KO, but you can bet they're dropping a couple of K damage onto you in the meantime, and that makes you so weak for the rest of Esport Gear to clean you up. Even on the side of that Wigglytuff, bro, it is not a stranger to dealing damage. They will find the KO onto the Chandelier here at least, and Supernova have to use this, because as you can see in that picture-in-picture, the Regice is going to be taken. Esport Gear have all the advantage here at the 4-minute mark. Rings are let loose as they want to capitalize on this advantage right now. Anchor Shot doesn't find anybody. They do manage to zone out Classics, but the KOs come through onto the Buzzwole, and if you can find the KOs onto that Greninja, they lose all of their damage. That's exactly what Dragapult does. Yikes uses the Thunderstorm from the Pikachu, but it isn't going to be enough.
Brilliant job here as well. As Hooper's going to send everybody back. It is playing in prison as well, so it locks down the moveset as well. But again, that just comes through. I mean, Chandelure went back through the hole, then came back fully healed up as they seal that Regieleki right now. A level 12 Iglis is a dangerous thing, getting access to that Flame Thrower. Plus, level 12 Dragapult needs one more level. There it goes. It gets it as I say it. And the Regieleki walks in, and Iglis, Quasix is just going to be like, well, I'm going to just go dance my little way through, and they could just make it out, which I love from this Wigglytuff. We have seen it come to the forefront. I think that's purely due to the efforts of Inda over in NA. Wigglytuff is being seen and played a lot more because it's just so good in this crowd control meta. But look at the double shields from this ridiculous ghost Pokemon.
Oh, Seaweed Snare used as well, bro. That was not needed at all, Skull. That is brutal to find the KO onto Buzzle. I mean, they're going to need to farm that back up, bro. But I think they're just waiting because they're going to have to go in a Supernova anyway onto the side of this Delmise. Looks like Skull might go down here, does get away. So they know that they're going to have to go in onto Esport Gear anyway. Seaweed Snare isn't the worst thing not to have in that final fight.
I think you said Seaweed Snare, but I think you mean One Hook. I mean, I think that's the name.
Oh, really? Oh, we're doing that now.
Yeah. No. But Seaweed Snare obviously being used, again, it's used in such a unique situation. When Delmise first came out, we saw it be used really nicely with that Hooper to bring people back as well and snare them away, take them as far away as possible. But look how far Iglis has dragged that register to ensure that it resets. 4 seconds on the clock. It is set point. It is match point for Rework Esport Gear. They have been in control of this game from the start. They have got the firepower to do so. But Supernova, absolutely no slouches at these final fights. Let's see it, my guy, because they're just scouting each other out. But what did we say? When there's a ground on, the game is on. And here we go.
Trying to get the Leech Life onto Skull doesn't do enough, though, as they're able to use these portals to get back to that full HP bar. We saw Yikes trying to land the Mage Pikachu combo to stop them from doing just that. Anchor Shot does find someone. Not enough, though, as we dive on in on the side of Teeps. They've been shut down by the Imprison, though, and there's the Thunderstorm coming through as well from Pikachu. They do manage to land that onto the side of Skull, but it ain't going to do enough damage with the beam. And right now, Supernova have fallen. All of their damage is gone. It's down to Sora. It's down to Seasons. Sora is just there for the sightseeing right now as Seasons can't get in and do anything at all. Esport Gear are on the precipice of being the first team in the winners final.
I mean, that is a way to go deep into full fearless with this comp, with the Wigglytuff, with the Chandelure, with the Delmice to pull this out and to go into the finals in such a, I want to say, dominating fashion, because they haven't even managed to get the 3 digits. Chandelure managed to pick up a KO. Sorry, it was Dragapult that picked up a KO whilst they're trying to reset. Absolutely brilliant showing from Rework Esports here. From game 1, they looked comfortable, my guy, and they were not going to be denied their spot in the finals.
No, they really weren't. I mean, 865 points now as they go back to the central area just to look nice and pretty on screen for us.
Oh, there you go.
They are
There you
a
go.
beautiful team that has played so impressively well in this league. Esport Gear have got their sights on Esport Core in that final. They want them to win. They want the revenge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And look, there was something I noticed that, I mean, let's not take away from the victory at all. There was something I noticed that the Hooper hole actually goes all the way through to the lava. I don't know if you noticed that in Groudon. So, I mean, when we have a look at the replays, I just want to see if production can bring that up, because I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but my eyes are definitely not going to deceive this scoreline. 13 KOs from Ryotari coming up on that Dragapult. And again, I like the swapping. So we saw Iglis take a lot. They actually, Iglis sacrificing their early game, as we saw Quasi's going up into that top lane for that first rotation. But then Iglis decided, I mean, it was probably a team decision. Iglis went in, took the second rotations of that central lane. 82k damage. Mate, I think this Chandelure has got to be one of the most slept on attackers right now.
This is it, buddy, because the thing is, even if you are set back in the early game, as soon as you hit Flamethrower, you are capable of doing massive damage. It's a 2-second cooldown if you hit it within that circle. You have that as soon as you evolve into that move. It is incredibly strong. So 82k from Iglis there. Fair play, bro. And I think we'll see more people pull out that Pokemon as we go deep into this full fearless draft. It did look like it was Esport Gear's game from that 4-minute mark. They were able to grab themselves most of these objectives. In fact, they were the only ones to get objectives, bro.
I think that's all. I think that's all of the objectives.
All of them, mate. I mean, we nearly had 3 Regices. Like, come on, Pokemon. You know?
Oh, yeah. Look, yeah, I'll take it. Look, sometimes you need the trio. You want to come up deuces, bet it on the house. We're going to go into our highlights as well. And I think this was, for me, Tano, this comp that I'm seeing, all 10 Pokemon, this is a very, I want to say, heartwarming comp, for lack of a better term, because we're seeing something different. And I think that's the exciting part about Full Fearless. Of course, our first 2 games, we're going to see your Zapdoses, we're going to see your Megas, we're going to see this, that, and the other thing. But at what point is this comp ever coming out? When was the last time we saw a Mage Pikachu?
Yeah. True, bro. I love Mage Pikachu as well, and that's why Full Fearless is so fun. At 68k damage as well from Yikes. 39% of the damage of their team, by the way. That says a lot about how Yikes was able to do that. Let's have a look at the highlights if we can, please, production. Esport Gear, a beautiful 6-1 record in the regular season. They're going to be the first team here that make it through to that winners final at the moment. There's one more team that will join them there, and one more team will be there in the losers bracket as well, bro, before we have our finals. We got to find out. Now, next, we have an interesting battle as well. As Phantom Forces, you can bet they're keeping a close eye on this game, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's so interesting to see how these games are playing out right now, Tano. I mean, this has been the rework tournament. This has been the rework league. They have been the front runners the entire time. They don't want anybody else entering the conversation at all in the dominant fashion that they were able to display both of these games. So we'll see how that goes. I believe we're going to go into our highlights right now. Of course, the Draculot coming up here as well. Look at the damage that's just being put out at level 5. My guy, they almost get found, but Starzo gets stunned beautifully here by Beach, as does the Greninja. But then the Wigglytuff finds it. Look at how deep the Wigglytuff is in. They find the Buzzwole. and that it just said bye-bye to the boss one. And I think that combination of Dragapult and Wigglytuff, so very strong.
So very strong, buddy. It was a good combo. In fact, smart play, to be honest, from eSport Gear to have access to these strong combos so deep within this set, knowing that it is full fearless. It's difficult to manage that side of it as well as being able to do much with your team. I love the damage combo that they went for. They knew that realistically it was going to have to be double ranged attacker that is pulled out here, and the Chandelure Dragapult combo is just way too much damage for anyone on Supernova to even keep up, whether it's the Slowbro, whether it's the healing from Clefable. It's too much damage. It's as simple as that.
I mean, but look, take nothing away from Supernova. Buzzwole and Greninja able to find those KOs if they're able to get back. But you saw the Surf Boosted trying to go in onto the Chandelure just felt a full force of Dazzling Gleam from the Wigglytuff. But as we go through, it was just nice plays all around. And the Hooper play here was massive. The Sing goes in. Kha'Zix just doesn't care who's around. It just goes in, he sings, he does his thing, and then he moves. We got the Slow Beam on to the Dragapult, but really nobody able to follow up on that. And unfortunately, I still think Slow Beam is one of the best Unite moves in the game, but it does require a lot of follow-up. I mean, we talk about the current defenders right now with the Mammoth Mash, whether it be Mammoth Mash or Power Nap, or whether it be Phantom Forest, whether it comes out onto these defenders, even the full power Sai, those Unite moves can go off on their own. However, I mean, Slow Beam requires that follow-up.
No, it really
see, look,
does.
this is what I was seeing. This is what I was saying. Look, you can see the magma on the hole. Sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, you can. It's really cool, buddy. I think, is that based on the skin? I don't know. We'll have to have a look.
Production, can we just roll it back just a tiny bit? I just want to see that again. I don't know, maybe, but I think we're going to see a slow-mo of the Secure first of all. It don't matter what kind of texture that I want to see on the map, but we'll go through. And again, Clefable, I mean, Sora's just having a look. They're just having a look at the magma right now. Oh, production have decided to roll it back for me. This is my artist brain coming through, chat, so I do apologize for this. As you can see, the Hooper Hyperspace hole, you can see the magma coming through underneath. I don't know if that's intentional, but hey, those are things you point out on Day Sky Ruins.
I'm gonna hazard a guess and say it's not intentional with this game, bro. And it's a happy coinky dink. Right now, though, this is what you were talking about, mate. There's not enough backup from Supernova off that slow beam to find the KO. Yikes goes on in with that Thunderbolt, but it ain't gonna be enough as they combine that with the entirety of their build. Unite move as well, still Skull up, floating around as that anchor. And this is it. Ryatori here just has so much damage. Even if you do get it weak, not enough to KO the Dragapult. It will take you. And I'm actually very glad that we didn't see the Seaweed Snare that Skull decided to use on Starzerg. I think Starzerg is hurt enough. We don't need to see that on screen again.
No, I don't think we do. But again, congratulations to Rework Esport Gear. They are our first team in the Grand Finals. There is another best of 5 full fearless coming up, but of course we have to take ourselves a little break, get ourselves a little drink of water, because my throat is parched. Tano, after all of that incredible action. So guys, don't go anywhere. Grab yourself a drink, grab yourself a snack, and I promise you, dear viewers, Tano and I will be right back.
Howdy, trainers, and a welcome back. We got to say hello to Lobo's Mimikyu. Say hello to Nigel, my little droid up in the background. You see him? You see him? There you go. That's Nigel. Say hi, Nigel. Everybody say hi, Nigel.
It's such a British name. It had to be Nigel, didn't it? It couldn't have been Nigel, the droid. This is droid Ni-GL, but no, Nano had to make it the most British name possible. The EU region, the EU region goes so well. So I'm so excited to see this. We just had a banger of a few sets come through. Few games. It felt like two sets of a games. A best of 5 is draining at the most of the times. It's not like we just sit here and yap while these players play. But we are about to get into our next game. Rework Esport Core. Mate, how many times are we gonna say Rework Esport? But it's another one. 6-1 on the board. Phantom Forces not exactly having the best season. However, they seem to be showing up at these middle side events.
Bro, this team is goated. The way that they have flipped around their entire season here in EUL Masters to even be here in these playoffs. But we can't talk about them without talking about the legends that are Rework Esport Core. They have been an issue from day one in this league. It's Cascade, it's Dodo, Beru, Azalito, and Aaron here that make this team. And they have been such a massive threat. I love seeing Cascade on their all-rounders. The Serena, thing of beauty.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys are so fun to watch. I mean, there's not much else I could say about this team. They speak for themselves. They're such a strong team. But we even witnessed a merging of the rework teams earlier this week. And I mean, it's like when they use the Patara earrings, fusion and merge into a stronger force. But currently, they are out into their separate fields. But they want to gain access to their grand finals. Their siblings sitting pretty in the finals as well. But this is the team that is going to try and stop it. And boy, what a team this is.
The goats of being underdogs. These Phantom Forces. We got Ma, we got Paggy, Average, Carry, Kaya, and Black Cobra here on the field. This team have just completely changed their fortunes. In the mid-seasonal, they had an absolutely incredible run. Here, they've had an absolutely incredible run in the group stages. Mate, they win when it matters, and that is the only way to play Pokemon Unite.
I agree. You have to win when it matters. I mean, I hate the fact that we have to say it, but you can play brilliantly for 8 minutes. It's those final 2 minutes that really count. And some of these teams are starting to take that personally, where they're saying, well, we don't want the final objective, no matter what it is. I mean, Phantom Forces, they've had, I can't even say mixed struggles in this one. They've had very bad struggles in the league, but they seem to show up when it counts. So I'm very excited to see how they do this.
Me too. Just a little bit more information for you, chat. So, Core started as the 3rd seed here. They only lost to Italian Diff. In the regular season, they 2-0'd everyone except Team Int, which was a 2-1 victory to Team Int. And they lost to Supernova 1-2 as well. Core again lost to Supernova in the mid-season and then eliminated by Gear in the lower bracket. That's the revenge matchup that they're looking for. Core 2-0'd everybody else in the group stages, which is why they come in here as the 1st seed. Phantom Forces on the opposite side finished 6th in seeding, only winning 1 match. And you can guess who that was? It was Supernova. In regular season, except versus Team Int and Los Duros, all of their matches were 0-2. Against Team Int and Los Duros, they were 1-2. So they have lost pretty much everything going, and it was only close between those two. In the mid-season, though, they took a game against Int and Los Duros in the lower bracket. They had a brilliant run in that lower side of things, and that's when things started to turn around for them, Lobo. Phantom Forces defeated Gear and Los Duros in group stage. That's in capitals, by the way, chat, because of how amazing that is. They did that in stage 2. They got 2-1, but got defeated by MTZ 1-2, which is why they weren't able to make it through with the uncontested run. Wow, who could have
I
guessed that they would be here, Lobo?
I love the fact that that's also written in capitals. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? But we love an underdog story in Pokemon Unite. But I guess the main underlying story right now is all of the games that all these teams have played up until now have been completely swapped on their head. Maybe game one is the only one that's going to make sense because we are in full Fearless. How many times can we say Fearless in one stream? Chat, count it for us, and whoever's correct gets a prize, I guess. But here we go. We're going to go into the draft stages. We got Mega Charizard Y, Mega Gyarados being banned, unless that's going to be, I mean, banning off these Megas, such strong Megas game one is insane.
I mean, looking at the Wigglytuff there by Lou as well, it would be interesting, but I think it's going to be usual bans here to Fetch, to Umbreon, maybe a Blastoise, Suicune, those strong defenders like Mega Luca. Probably going to be the bans that we see, buddy. Now, I have put in my order for Dodo to play Tinkerton at some point during this set, so we'll see whether they accept that order and deliver it, because that would be a lot of fun in this full Fearless side of things.
I mean, it's just unfair that you get to put in orders. I don't get to put in a single order, but my orders are usually normal, and there ain't no way none of these teams are going to play a Phalanx. Putting that out there. Yeah, I know y'all are listening to the streams. Phalanx. That's it. I will say nothing more. But so Fetch is not going to be allowed out again. I think this is the new Mega Pokemon. I don't think it needed a buff the same way I don't think Suicune needed a buff. Blastoise still not going to be allowed out as well. Take a bet, my guy. Are those two ever going to be allowed out in this best of 5, even if we get to a full game 5 situation?
I don't think so. I think you've got to continue to ban them unless you are like first pick and you can force the other team to use the ban on that. But you know, when you get that deep into it, it's one of those where they have the opportunity to do that anyway. Average is going to take the Zapdos out of the gates here, bro. So that is a huge advantage that Phantom Forces now have. They have to capitalize on this because that will not be allowed to be used for the entirety of this set now.
Yeah, look, I mean, taking that off the bat as well as being able to use it, but this is the same way that we saw Rework Esport Gear come out flying out of the gates with that Zapdos, with that Mega Lucario, and a Mimikyu as well. Phantom Forces are looking very strong, but Cascade hovering over the Serena. The Queen wants to go up against the best of oppositions, and if Serena, Cascade, and Rework Esport Core can make this ridiculous comp that Phantom Forces are pulling out right now, if that's what they're about to lock in, this could be mental game switched. I mean, Phantom Forces have got a strong comp looking up on paper. Rework Esport here have to absorb a lot of damage, a lot of crowd control. Let's see if they're able to do so, or are they playing it for the late game?
Ooh, Dodo pulls out the tried and tested Glaceon. That is a huge shout for what Phantom Forces bringing to you, but I love the comp that Phantom Forces has here, bro. I think maybe the only difference would have been a Vaporeon on the field instead of that tree, because you kind of need healing here. I think the difficulty that they have is that they don't have like core healing for their team. You do have self-sustain, you do have lifesteal on the board. That would have been better for the team there, especially against Dodo. That is a brilliant pickup by Esport Core to deal directly with what they're coming up against.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think you and I ran up against Dodo's Glaceon earlier this week.
I tried to forget about that.
we tried to ban it, but you know, he got it anyway. So we have first-hand experience as to the punishment and sadness that Glaceon provides to us. I believe it will be running that Icy Wind build. I mean, I'm thinking it will run the Icy Wind build because just looking at this comp right now, Icicle Spears, damage over time, could allow for Cascade to really get in there because Cascade is able to stay in there and brawl. Aaron on the Mew is stunning. I mean, Mew players right now, with where Mew is in the current meta, is it the best attacker that we have in the game, Tano?
It's the most utilized attacker in the sense that it has a lot of utility for its team, buddy. That's what we like about it. Great secure, great burst damage potential, but also the coaching is really good with the Unite move as well to protect your team. So that's why Core are going to bring it out here. They have got full damage on it, though, for Aaron. So that's going to be interesting to see. Really strong bottom lane here for both sides. Zapdos probably has that extra damage advantage. See if it works for them.
Yeah, but look, the executes coming out with the Electro Ball and the Muted Auto are going to be so good for this Mew. Look at how widely it can stay at range. I mean, average on that Zapdos is going to be able to do wonders with just the damage output. But look, hiding in the bush and getting those secures on that farm is exactly what they need to do. They're behind. They've got the coaching. They're going to heal up. They could pick up the KO on the Phantom, which they do. Both eject buttons in. No, single eject button into the coaching. Manages to win that early game for the side of Rework Esport Core. Mimikyu is here. Psyduck is going to do their best. I mean, hasn't got a full headache just yet, so Mimikyu is going to be there. But look at those pretty little ice shards, my guy. It's Icy Wind, big burst damage coming out from Dodo.
I like that play, especially trying to get around Paggy here on the side of this Mimikyu. They do grab a decent amount of that farm, but look at that. Azalita still going on in, providing that assistance so that Mew can go in with the coaching and drop that damage. That's what Aaron's going to do for the entirety of this game. They are going full damage Mew here.
Yeah, look, I like to see it, but it looks like we might have an issue. I think it's the Suicune that has the issue, which was Kaya. So we're going to get a little pause on this. Maybe production wants to bring it to our lovely faces, but I can also understand why you wouldn't want to see that. Oh, of course you do. Hello, everybody. It's you again. I mean, hi. But we'll see what we're going. But so far, even with the powerhouse comp that Phantom Forces have brought out, Tano, Rework Esport Gear working around it quite well. I love the quick rotation from Mew to go to that top part to give a little bit more presence. We're back in the game. Say goodbye to our faces, at least for 8.5 minutes. But again, 6 points going in. Only a low-scoring game, but it is Phantom Forces that managed to score that.
Dodo's going to desperately try and hit 7 here. As soon as they hit level 7, they have the power spike they need to be a nuisance onto the side of Phantom Forces. Tries to use this Suicune to open up the gates for a little bit more experience, but Esport Core were there already as Cascade looks to hit Serena as well. Look at Azalito. It's just like, I want to be in your face, pull your attention onto me to allow my all-rounder to go get all the farm.
Yeah, look, Azalito is such a fantastic support player as well. Anything that they do, just staying in the face of your opponent there. They've got that level 7, which means they have access to that freeze dry, which is going to make sure that you get all of the stacks depending on what you hit. Reggie Drago goes to the side of Rework Esport. Of course, Serena has gone in. The Queen, says Neil, but Mimikyu has some other ideas with the combination play with the Ice Wind and the Electro Ball. That's the rotation coming out from Core. They don't care what kind of comp you got. They're going to put that damage out, and it's just teamwork between all 4 of these players that is getting these KOs, and now the score lead.
They should have called that move Icy Blast, because that's exactly what it does, bro. It just blasts in your face, and they constantly have it up on the side of Dodo. It's non-stop damage that they're able to burst in your face, and it works a treat with that Mew combo. Esport Core, they've got exactly what they need for the ranged attack to work in this first game.
Look, there's a nice rock tomb to actually signal out the Trevenant here. There's the Glacial Stage!
Oh!
And it is Dodo that managed to secure it beautifully with the Glacial Stage. The irony not lost, that is our 4th Reggie Ice that we've seen in a quick succession right now. Mimikyu gets knocked out by the full power of this Glaceon. Dodo deciding that this is we don't see Glaceon be used quite often, but when it is a comfort pick, and you are a central laner that can get that blue buff and to allow the cooldowns, this Glaceon just shreds your entire team. And again, I mean, this Crossover Baru doing such a good job keeping everybody off of this ranged attack.
Yeah, I mean, not able to find the KO, unfortunately, onto the side of Kaya, but it's enough for Core to score more points in that bottom pad. Average has to find something here as they get ready with the Zap Cannon and Thunderbolt as well. Mr. Komaraj is used, and of course it's Aaron that finds the KO. You cannot run into this as a weak Pokemon, because Aaron will shut you down. Diving in is the Mimikyu here. Full power Sai though. That's going to be enough to at least buy a bit of space for Core. But the play with me will land onto the Psyduck. The Zap Cannon is ready to go. Glacial Stage is dropped once more, and Dodo continues to be the threat that Phantom Forces cannot defend at the moment. Cobra will go down. Kaya is back, but they're going to have to run back up this flux zone.
I mean, the citrus berries aren't going to be enough because look at where Dodo is. Just the dash that comes out from that icy wind is so very strong. My guy, 22 to 1 at 90 points. There isn't that much of a difference between the two rework teams, but we aren't seeing rework esports gear play Glaceon any which way. But they do like to score big and they like to score early. Aura Cannon's going to come out as well to ensure the secure of that Regieleki. In the top side, we do have the Bubble Beam going on. Mega Lucario caught quite well, but again, the eject into the close combat combination with the Whirlpool did allow it. The Rubble Rouser did come out, eject into the X Scissor, which allowed a KO on Mimikyu, but this Regieleki walked in, so that 190 lead is going to be cut down.
Oh, you what, bro? Phantom Forces are not taking this one sat down, though. There is the high voltage siege as they look for the KOs on the side of average Nepti. Not able to, though, as they do go down. They do find one, which is that Crystal, but they've broken that top pad. So experience given to eSport Core, but they managed to cut down the score lead that they had. That's the way that this game has to be played because these two teams are so close against each other. In these final stages of EUL Masters, Phantom Forces look like they're on the level of Rework Esport.
No, I agree with you 100%. A team that has statistically struggled in the league, Cascade, looking for the KO on their all-rounder counterpart in that top lane. Cascade is so good on this arena. We've seen them play it for 3 years now. They know the ins and outs of this Pokemon. They can stay in and brawl, but no matter when they go in, they've got the Help Serena going to go in onto the Mimikyu as well. The Shadow Sneaks are going to go in, but there is the Endless Ice Spikes into the Icy Wind, but the Electro Ball secure is going to help Cascade stay in the fight, even though the Horn Leech is going to drain 3 members. It was the Icy Wind that manages to pick up the KO, and Dodo has to go with the eject button to chase down average on that Zapdos. Mate, Zapdos, powerful Pokemon, Mega Pokemon be damned. Rework Esport Core says whatever 5 we bring you, it is going to be the strongest 5 on Thea Sky Ruins.
Yeah, they've built themselves a tasty comp here in game 1, matey. Dodo is just out of the gates with that Glaceon, knowing that realistically, if they don't take it in the first opportunity, it's probably going to be banned out from them. They know everybody in this EU region knows Dodo is a GOAT on this Pokemon. They are going to use that as Cobra has to use the Phantom Forest here, but they're going to go down anyway, buddy, as they do have a lot of damage coming their way. Healing does come through, though. X's is going to be hit onto them as well. Netty, again, stuck in the moment, going to be KO'd on the side of this Psyduck. Dodo goes back through with that rotation, and that's enough to get an ace as eSport Core are going to capitalize on a huge overcap.
That's a 45 overcap going into that top path as they shred down this Regieleki. Regieleki said, what did I ever do to you to be dealt like that? And we see Azalito going to do a little bit of window shopping, maybe they can get themselves a little bit of hollow air there, unable to secure that, as it is Trevenant that managed to take that buff away. Level's not looking too bad for both these teams, but the scariest thing going right now is that level 14. I really want to have a look at these cooldowns that Dodo's got right now, because with that blue buff, with that level 14, the plus moves, you're hitting those icy winds and that freeze dry as quickly as possible. So you've always got those icicles up to do the damage.
Level 15 Glaceon, bro, coming into this final fight is just insane. But Nepti is going to find the first KO onto Psyduck. They do manage to find the answer with Cobra as well. They got to take out these ranged attackers, the Phantom Forces, if they want to win this fight. Huge beam is going to come through once more. It's a 2 KO streak for Aaron as they look for more. Dodo finds Mimikyu, and right now Phantom Forces are up against the world. eSport Core clean them out of this central area, go for the rip on the Kyogre. Right now it's down to Cobra to be the saving graces for Phantom Forces. Will it work? No, not able to, as they get stunned too late with the Phantom Forest, and eSport Core are going to lock in that first objective.
I mean, they weren't even able to make use of the Mega Lucario, because as soon as the Mega Lucario went Mega, we had the Icy Wind, the Glacial Stage, the Kyogre was there. But look at how much damage Aaron takes straight away. Cascade doesn't care about any walls except for the Rock Tomb wall, which managed to pick up a KO. And just like that, 3 members of Phantom Forces at the minute mark get taken down. Never, and I mean never, allow Dodo to have his Glaceon. If you are watching and you play in solo queue ranked and you see Dodo, ban that Glaceon.
Yeah, I mean, ban this man is what you should all be screaming as you see Glaceon on the field. Phantom Forces, I mean, buddy, They had the Zapdos, they got the Mega Luca, the Suicune, the Mimikyu. That is massive picks that you take game one that you can no longer play in the entirety of this set. Just didn't do enough. And I think that's purely due to how Esport Core built up their ranged attackers with some brilliant frontline.
And there we go. The Thousand Island dressing is gonna, give this game a little bit of extra seasoning as we go through. Now they're just trying to stack the damage numbers right now. I mean, inside your core, no pun intended there, or maybe it was. Tana, you be the judge. But again, that is a strong opening game for Rework Esport Core, the same way that their siblings had in set number one. Strong opening game, strong showing. Phantom Forces with it all to do right now.
Yeah, all to do indeed, bro. I mean, this is the joy of full fearless, though, because it means that, again, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board each game, realistically. And I mean, if Esport Core want to continue pulling out these double ranged attackers, you got to go more on the speedster heavy route for me. But we'll see whether that's the approach that they take, mate. Right now, though, that was Esport Core picking up where they left off.
14 KOs, 20 assists coming out for the side of Dodo. Again, I would love to see the damage taken by Dodo as well, because I don't know if they were jumped on or if they got KO'd at all in that fight. I mean, the dashes provided by Glaceon are not the best. However, every time you dash, you do manage to get away. Got to put it out to Azalito. 19 assists, Cascade with 20 assists as well. 100. Tano, read those two numbers out to me, please. Read them out. Go ahead. I'll give you some time to digest, but read those numbers out.
I mean, it's not surprising, bro. They had some strong HP pools to do that damage against. Cobra was there as a Trevenant's taken 99k damage themselves. Kaya has taken 71. Like, Dodo, the GOAT, with 31% damage for their team there. Over 100k. I mean, the thing is, the saving grace for Phantom Forces now, chat, is that they know that Glaceon is not going to be played again in this set.
I mean, yes, 100k damage, 104k damage, no, 108k damage dealt, 7k damage taken. And that has to be on the backs of Buru. But look how far forward Dodo is in these fights. I mean, but you also got to give it to Aaron on the Mew, whether it was the coaching, whether it was the Electro Ball, whether it was the all of the utility. Mew was there every single time to really assist, but then the Glacial Stage being used beautifully to pick up 2 KO streaks, and then you can't run away from a Glaceon. That's the hardest thing, because it's got those dashes. It's got, as long as it can keep up those Icicle Spears, you cannot run away from a Glaceon.
Yeah, and then it's got Glacial Stage that kind of just catapults it towards you anyway. So you're absolutely right, mate. You've got no escape from that Glaceon. You have to get on it. You have to KO it. That's the difficulty that we saw on Zapdos, for example, from Phantom Forces in that game. They were trying to come in and get in range to drop that damage. The second they did, they were swarmed, and they don't have dash abilities like Dodo has, bro. So it was so difficult for the ranged attackers on the side of Phantom Forces to do their job because of how in their face Esport Core were.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then this is just the 3-minute mark as well. I mean, Cascade doing a brilliant job. We saw the 20 assists involved in everyone, but this is the aggressiveness of Dodo, pushing that eject button when you probably didn't need to. I mean, there's instances there where, do you really need to use an eject button that goes on a 40-second cooldown time? But look, I mean, Cobra getting taken out early was the Trevenant. They almost get caught here, do that. But look at here. This is where the Mega Lucario decides to go in. Before it can use anything, before it can even finish the Aura Cannon, it's taken out of the game.
Just a clean synergy from Esport Core with their Unite moves, bro. And I mean, Psyduck was down, so you didn't even have full power Psy. You had to full send it in that moment. And as soon as you find that first KO, you know you can lock in and win that entire set. Here, this is just a little bit of a shame from Cobra. They were too late on the Phantom Forest. I don't think, I mean, they did have an eject button. They probably had that on cooldown there, Lobo, because you would have been better coming in with the Wood Hammer and eject button to lock that one down. Just a shame, unfortunately. But it is Esport Core picking up where they left off, bro. They have seen Gear play. They are desperate for the revenge in that final.
No, I agree with you 100%. And that's going to be one heck of a final that I can't wait to see if it is going to be the two rework teams going up against each other. But Phantom Forces still have a chance to play spoiler as we head on in to game number 2. And of course, our 10 Pokemon banned out, plus our 6 Pokemon casually in our normal ban stages. Now, this is going to be interesting because we still have a lot of very comfortable picks, which is why whenever we talk about full fearless, it works in a best of 5. I mean, it works in a best of 3 situation as well, because you take out a lot of those heavy hitter Pokemon that you can play. But it seems like Blastoise is not going to get a look in at all, which makes a lot of sense.
No, it does, mate. I think the same with probably Sefetched in these bans as well. Darkrai will be taken out here. Another really strong Pokemon in this meta right now. Just so difficult to take out, bro. We've been able to go under the map, join us down there in that lava. Like, it's just a nuisance to deal with. Looks like we could see an Inteleon ban that will come through from Paggy here, knowing that realistically, they don't want us to go up against that in this next set.
No, absolutely. I think Inteleon also a Pokemon that is very well loved across the board. I mean, you have your incredible Inteleon players, so Fetch not going to be allowed to be played. So 2 most consistent bans over all of the semi-final games that we've watched so far are Blastoise and Sefetch. Mega Charizard Y still hasn't been allowed out yet either. Umbreon wasn't allowed out till the latter stages of our first set. But Kaya's going to pick up the Blissey, which I kind of like. I want to see if it's going to go Heal Blissey or we're going to go Helping Hand. If it's Helping Hand, Cascade could bring out that Garchomp to really take away one of the prominent partners of Blissey on that Helping Hand. But you know what is also a very good partner for that Blissey on that Helping Hand? The Dragapult.
Yeah, so it is. That could be a good plan here from Phantom Forces. They've got a great range attacker player on the side of average carry there. Cascade and Azalito are just going to pick up one of the most beautiful combos in this game right now. Esport Core.
Say beautiful.
I mean, they are, bro. Come on, they're beautiful.
You say beautiful. I think
Right.
disgusting. Disgusting.
Disgusting. Come on. It's a beautiful combo for Esport Core. I mean, Phantom Forces are probably looking at it that way, but it's the Mewtwo Y that average carry is going to pull out here. That's actually a really good pickup. Cobra also has the Snorlax on board. This is a good combo for Phantom Forces.
No, I agree with you. And I like the fact that I thought they were going to bring out the Slowbro a little bit early, but in instance, I mean, Mamoswine does make a really good shout here. Aaron going to pick up the Miraidon. Of course, full fearless, we are seeing the Miraidon come to play a lot sooner. Zapdos is banned out. Inteleon banned out as well. So these were the 2 most common range attackers that we saw for quite some time. Mewtwo Y fallen off just a little bit. However, that Mega Mewtwo is just able to sit down and A-press a Dragapult Light, if you will. But, you know, the OG A-press, a Cinderace, still able to be played. Paggy's going to bring up the tried, true, and tested Greninja, but that's also going to be countered with Dodo on that Talonflame to really put some pressure onto average. So what are you thinking, Tana? Is this going to be a Helping Hand or an Egg-style Blissey?
I think right now, looking at Helping Hand would be a good shout. You've got some good damage for that Mewtwo Y. Yeah, it could go either way, though, bro, because you want to pump some heals into Cobra. They're going to have a lot of damage coming their way. What is interesting, though, is the amount of defenders that have already been used here, mate. We've got 2 on the side of Esport Core. Cobra has just pulled out the Snorlax. They've already used that Trevenant in game 1. There is 7 defenders left that can be played in this set, and this is only game 2. What are they going to do? Play the Goodra?
I mean, I would love to see the Goodra, because Goodra is one of those Pokemon, when you get to that late stage game, it can just sit there and absorb and tank a lot of damage. But like you said, of course, 7 defenders left on the game. We've got Psyduck, pseudo defender, it's still a supporter. Crosswell is out. We've got the Mamoswine now as well. We've got Vaporeon, not a defender either, but let's have a look at some of these defenders that you've got left on the block. We've got Lapras, we've got Ho-Oh, we've got Umbreon has been banned out, Blastoise has been banned out. So realistically, I mean, we could eventually end up with a Greedent Goodra defender comp, which I would love to see.
That's the joy of Fearless as we kick off game 2 here. Phantom Forces are on your purple side. Rework Esport Core looking to continue their winning ways here on your orange side.
I mean, I love it as well. We see the natural central laners with your Froakie and your Fletchling. I mean, the bottom side defender, I mean, between the Miraidon and the Swinub, so strong. But I mean, I'm curious to think, who do you give the advantage to in that early game? Is it the Swinub? Is it the Snorlax? Because right now, Swinub is doing the business. But a big assistance has to go to that Miraidon.
It
Hey,
does.
opener.
That's the difficulty, bro. Swinub is so good at shutting you down and stopping you from being able to move that much, and then Aaron's just going to do the damage with the Miraidon that's so good in these early stages. Luckily, though, Cobra has that passive. One Citrus Berry will take you back to pretty much full health. We do have as well the Fletchinder down in the bottom lane. Acrobatics is so good in the early stages here, but it's difficult to deal with in Mewtwo Y anyway.
Yeah, I agree with you, but Mewtwo I already used that X attack early, so they have to go in. But this is the interesting thing. When two central laners go to the opposite lanes, is now we've got one pushing the pressure, but now we've got the acrobatics. Dodo is here. Frogadier is Paggy was trying to find their way back, and that combination of Vaporeon with anybody is so strong because of that Aqua Ring healing. But again, there's a lot more crowd control, I want to say, on the side of Rework Esport Core, which is why I was making the suggestion that you go for a thing like Safeguard, but Safeguard ain't gonna save you against the Piloswine, because when you and I talk about, it doesn't matter. Piloswine's so strong at that first Evo level.
Bro, Ice Fang is the best crowd control move in the game, in my opinion. It's just ridiculously good, and it does so much damage as well. Looks like Talonflame is going to be fly. We saw the flame charge coming out from Dodo there as well, and they're going to capitalize on that by just not allowing Pudgy to enjoy their own central area.
No, I agree. And it's very unique where we would see a combination come out where you do need Brave Bird, because it is almost the nuke option. I mean, Dodo takes to the sky, picks up a KO streak or two. Blissey isn't even able to get online. And now this is looking like the classic rework style composition and game style. Don't let them play. Takes to the sky, looks for Paggy, but Paggy goes into the Night Shroud and gets taken away, surviving on an HP in a dream. But Aaron, taking that personally, doesn't want to let that happen, dropping the electricity down. Side strike, gonna take Baru to just a sliver, but it was more of a tick.
Bro, the healing from Vaporeon is so good. Like, this is such a good Pokemon for them to pick up. It's just, it's so difficult for Phantom Forces unless they do get the executes through. Look at that again. Not able to find the KO on Dodo, so they're going to have to leave, and the healing will be there ready for them again from Azalito. They do manage to dodge it on the side of Pudgy, but they're going to find the claws of Dodo anyway. Regieleki is on the field. Double KO coming in for Aaron. And the rip on the top as well coming in from the Cascade here, bro. So it's all Esport Core in this early game.
Yeah, they want to take this as a clean sweep. We saw Gear previously. They almost had a clean sweep as well. But, I mean, Supernova threatened the reverse sweep as well. Ain't no even entertaining the idea as Regieleki walks into that top. Cascade in a bit of bother here. 4v1 situation, but we've seen Cascade come out of worse. Submission's going to go through. Paggy wants to go for the execute with the Surf. Goes with the Livid Outrage. Does pick up a KO on Champ Cena. There's the healing coming out from the Aqua Ring, which is going to keep Cascade nice and healthy. Bright Future Meteor Storm rains down onto Theia Sky. Ruins from Aaron in the back. And that, I mean, the shift from bot lane to top lane and just the ability to put pressure on. We thought Cascade 1v5 situation was going to be hard, but his team said, we got your back, buddy. 38 over Cap.
And still, Dodo was in the bottom lane the entire time for that, bro, pulling the attention of Lou, and they score their own points down there as well. So this is exactly how Rework like to play. They split up, but they make sure that they at least have a core 3 or core 4 sticking together, pushing a lane. We're seeing the exact same thing happen here again as Cascade tries to capitalize on getting some points in up here. They're going to rotate to Cascade, see if they can provide some assistance, and still Dodo is going to go score in that bottom lane.
Yeah, Dodo doing exactly what Talonflame needs to do, but also instead of just scoring like we've seen a lot of Talonflames do, Talonflame has that utility to hit that that fly and that surf, but there we go. Water Burst Shuriken going to try and take out Aaron, but there's the eject. Bliss assistance onto Paggy as well, and finally Phantom Force is starting to show some life. Azalito going to secure both of those Citrus Berries, but the Flame Sweep from off the screen. Going to take to the sky, try and find the KO on Paggy. The submission comes through into the power nap, providing a stun as well. Phantom Force is doing brilliantly to try and pick up the KO, but Dodo goes hunting and takes down Paggy. Frog legs for dinner, says Rework Esport Core.
I'm gonna say, bro, I think Dodo's pretty alright at this game, you know? I think man might know what he's doing. That was a good KO onto the side of Phantom Forces, but it's all off the back of this crazy front line that they're able to pull out here. Beru and Azalito have been instrumental for Esport Core. They're so difficult to take down. The healing coming out from this Vaporeon is working so well for them, and it just opens the gate for Cascade to be the monument that does not fall whilst they get the KOs on the side of Dodo.
But look at the positioning right now. Azalita doing the healing, and it was Beru that just absorbed all of that Mega Mewtwo Y. Boom, the Infinite Side Beam's going to come out now into the Livid Outrage. They're going to look for Paggy. Bright Future Meteor Storm. Paggy does get taken down, and this is the pressure that Reworking Sport Core want to put on. Look at Cascade's health. He has absolutely no health whatsoever, but he Dragon Rushes in to the side of Azalita. That's a 50 and a 37 that could go in, but Machamp says no. Did they have access to the barrage blow? They could have, but they didn't because they had no access. But again, 73 to 302 as we march on to the 3.5 minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, Esport Core have made sure that they have every advantage they could have coming into this late game right now. They've got the level lead, they've got the point lead, they've got the objective lead here as well. That Regieleki is going to walk down this lane. Looks like Phantom Forces are going to try and take the fight instead of just purely ripping that. Massive barrage blow is going to come out from Lou. That finds a huge KO onto the side of Miraidon. Nearly finds another one, though, onto the side of Cascade. Flame sweep through the gates here as Dodo looks to see if they can pull them back onto their own pad and give them the healing that they need. They take down the Mewtwo Y as well. Cascade dashing on through. Cobra will just try and pull the attention of Esport Core so that Phantom Forces can escape. Dodo will not allow it, though.
I mean, Dodo found the KO on Paggy, but then beautiful Flame Sweep. Ain't no wall gonna stop Dodo from doing what they do best. Using the score animation to avoid the side strike as well. 73 is looking to be dangerous now. They just wanted to break that tier 2. Not gonna be another Regieleki coming through as well. They have a Regidrago window shopping in the enemy team central lane. 30 seconds to go until we have our second objective, I have to say. But there's the Aqua Ring. It's going to heal, keep Cascade up and running. Maggie dangerously low, but Dodo doesn't miss a chance at all. 24 seconds, and this fight is dangerous because it could turn into the final fight. Dodo's going to look for a hunt, but it does manage to get just a little bit of chip damage on the Snorlax, who has to retreat. Beru does not care at all. Any of this health is not going anywhere. And that Regice Tano is going to be absolute music to the ears of Azalito.
Yep, huge buff to get for free at this moment as Groudon takes to the field. Now, what a mountain to climb for Phantom Forces. Esport Core, it's all on their side in this one. Can Phantom Forces do what needs to be done? Looking to group them up is going to be the Snorlax, but they've been isolated instead, and they can't even drop the Power Nap, bro, before they're sent back to Nurse Joy. Ice Fang is going to connect once more. Bliss Assistance has to be used just to keep fire on their feet in this blob. Massive barrage blow, but it's going to be stopped again by Aquamarine Splash. This has worked a treat for Esport Core as they look to take down Phantom Forces one by one. Blissey's still not back yet. Goodbye to the Greninja, and they find Mewtwo Y as well as Dodo's claws are too difficult to escape. Esport Core look to rip the Groudon, and boy will they get it. They've won the first game. They're looking to win the second.
I mean, they're in devastating fashion. I mean, Block. Yeah, attack it from the back. Block can't do anything. Snorlax finally getting to use that Power Nap as well. But we saw the barrage blow, the eject onto Aron in the back line. Tano, I thought that was going to be the turning point, but it was Azalito's, like you said, the Aquamarine Splash plus the Aqua Ring that was doing all the healing. We have less than a minute to go. It's still within range, 303 points, but they have to pick up the KOs, but everybody still has it there. They're just looking for a little bit. They're just going to meet in the middle and handshake this one away as they just let them score. They got 1,000 Island dressing in game number 1. They don't want to let it happen again. Paggy going in with the Water Burst Shuriken coming through, but Cascade finds them easily.
I just love the fact that Lou was sat there in that unstoppable with the submission. And then literally Beru's just sat there like, as soon as that's done, I'm going to Ice Fang you, bro. Like, go back to your goal. You need it as they clean up the rest of Phantom Forces here. So Esport Core, they're going to kick it off with a 2-0 out of the gates. They've got one more game to win to meet Esport Gear in that winners final.
I mean, they saw what Esport Gear did in the first set, and they said, well, they literally just said bet. let's go. I mean, it's game on. And unfortunately, Phantom Forces are feeling the brunt of that 792 to 73. Again, this was just pure control. I mean, Dodo, take a bow. If you're watching a picture perfect game on the Glaceon in game one, a perfect game from the Talonflame in game number two, no walls to hit with that flame sweep. The flies were on point. They were hunting Paggy that entire time. 97k damage taken from Kaya, 78k healing. Azalito taking 71k healing as well. Oh, look at Cascade. Dodo did the 100 in the first game. Cascade said, my turn now.
Yeah, fair play. I mean, they have just picked up where they left off, is what we've said, mate. Esport Core are playing very aggressive in this set here. They are trying to lock in and make sure that they end up in that final as well. Phantom Forces, at least in the first game, they really managed to like keep it close. In this one, though, I just think there was too much control from the front line, and Dodo just went on a field day in this, mate.
Yeah, look, Dodo really... I really want to point out Dodo's ability to singular target. It wasn't just Paggy that they were targeting that entire game. You saw him pop the eject buttons throughout the entirety of that when they were in the fly. Anything that Cascade dropped on, or anything that Aaron decided to put damage on with that enhanced charge beam, we see even Cascade not afraid. I think at these higher levels, whether you're at your level 11 and you're level 12, you really don't want to be risking any KOs. But look here, we see the Water Burst Shuriken come in. Aaron finally gets taken down with the assistance of Bliss Assistance, but this pad still doesn't break. Azalito wherewithal to take away the Citrus Berries. Paggy already dangerously low, but Dodo finds him anyway.
Yeah, and that's it. And that is the difference between winning and losing these team fights, bro. If you're able to find those KOs and you take out exactly what we see there, the Greninja, that's a lot of damage that Phantom Forces no longer has. And realistically, that's where most of their damage is going to come from. That and the Mewtwo Y there. It was really good combo, though. We did see this from Lou, which was great. They nearly found the double onto the side of Cascade, but Paggy is really full sending that, wanting to make sure that they find that KO, which is the right move to do, but they overextend, and it's going to be Dodo that gets them in that flame sweep. That's it from Rework Esport Core. They have great synergy amongst their team, and Dodo is just left to freely do whatever they want, and that worked a treat for them.
Yeah, I do. Look at Dodo here. They decide to go for the Snorlax, just put some chip damage on him because they have to pop the retreat here. And when you pop the retreat, there's Aaron putting pressure on as well. Buru's just going to walk out with that beautiful Mammoth getting really jealous of it. But this is the final moments. We see the Infinite Sideburn come out. The champ had to use something. But again, Aaron is still alive here. Pops the eject button in the space of Azalito. There's the eject whilst you're in the fly. Where you have the actual ability to figure that out, Tano, I have no idea. So... Okay, it is set point for Rework Esport Core. What do we say? The reverse sweep is one of the hardest things to pull off in Pokemon Unite. Look at all 20 Pokemon that have been banned out. We're still at game 3, so still a lot of viable picks to come out. I believe we have no access to Mimikyu. We still have Mega Gyarados. We still have Mega Charizard X, which, you know, we did see it get played a lot in Asia. I mean, when we were watching the ACL finals. However, it just doesn't seem to be very popular here right now. So Fetch not going to get a look in it well. But could we see Blastoise finally come out to play?
No. I think they're going to continue. I think they're going to continue to ban it, bro. I mean, looking at the bans, you still have Suicune that could be used in that kind of Blastoise role as well. I mean, it's a tough one. No need to ban out the Zapdos, but Core look like they're going to take the approach of like, just give us more Pokemon to be picked. Let's not use these bans for bans.
I agree with that, and that's exactly what we mentioned. We saw in the other game as well. You know, whether it was a mistake or not, because I believe that game got reworked, redone. There was no banned pick. So picking up the Zapdos here, even though Phantom Forces have already picked it up, it's off the table, but it leaves another Pokemon open to be banned. Umbreon is playable. Blastoise hasn't been banned out yet, but Paggy says, hold your horses. We're just going to ban it out straight away. So Rule Edge, funny enough, has not been picked. So Blastoise, Umbreon on the table, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rework Esport Core decide to take it here, or they're going to give Cascade their all-rounder of choice. Nope, Beru says, I'm going to pull rank here and take the Blastoise.
Yeah, if that is able to be picked up, you cannot allow that to go to the other team. You are throwing your game if you allow that to be picked up by the other team. So Beru is going to lock that one in. Cobra comes out of the gate flying with a Delmise here. We've seen that a little bit in this full fearless format. I think they feel like it's capable of being a good front line for Phantom Force. Is going to pair that with Kaya's Umbreon as well. So able to use healing or able to go for the mean look. But that's a threat, Lobo. Aaron has just locked in the Inteleon.
Any attacker that you give Aaron right now, it's just dangerous. And oh no.
Oh, bro.
I mean, I love it. I love it. But Dodo, if he has, they are on, you know, they're in that kitchen and they're cooking. So this Dragapult could be very, very dangerous. I wonder if it's going to be the simple A-press Dragapult, or we're going to see the Dragon Dance with a lot of that movement, because that hook, the anchor shot coming out from Cobra, could put Dodo in a lot of bother. The rapid fire scarf and the scope lens tells me that we might be seeing just the normal A-pressing Dragapult. Cascade gonna hit the gym, get those big beefy muscles all pumped up, and Azalito with that Elder Goss. I actually really like the comp coming out from the side of Core. Phantom Forces are gonna be allowed the Meowth. I like Phantom Forces comp here. Give me your thoughts.
I do. If they grab the Meowth, I think that could be a game changer for them here. I mean, I know that they don't have, you know, it's a lot of damage coming in from Esport Core, and they don't have a lot of healing. Kind of means Kaya might have to be forced onto the Wish here, realistically.
Yep.
Unless, you know, they just want to rely on using that Meowth for the damage, because they do also have a Cramorant. So they could go for the range on the side of that Cramorant. You don't really want to be diving in too close to Dodo on that Dragapult. This is a good comp from both sides, though. I think Esport Core have it slightly better with that double range damage coming in paired with the Blastoise as well. But it's all about this Meowth right now, Lobo. It's going to be good at getting onto that Dragapult and providing the stun. That's what you got to do. Dragapult, you can get onto it, but it will still damage you like an absolute mother if you cannot stun it. That's what you got to do.
No, I agree with you, but what I'm seeing from the side of Phantom Forces comp is they have a lot of movement coming on. So Meowth, genuinely a very fast Pokemon as well. Cramorant, we're seeing, especially in competitive right now, we are seeing Hurricane and Dive come through. So there's a lot of stun, crowd control being able to be. Now, here is my hot take. I think that's an E-Speed Lucario. I think that's an E-Speed Lucario. Yeah, I definitely think that that's an E-Speed Lucario. I could be proven wrong, as most of these players like to prove me wrong. But I'm going to call it, because a lot of the movement that's coming out from the side of Phantom Forces could be very key to avoiding, whether it's the Power Slam coming out from Buzzwole, or it's to avoid a lot of the firepower coming out from that Dragapult. Now, here's also something else that I'm going to call, and maybe or maybe not, but if we see a Liquidation Inteleon, I wouldn't be surprised, because there is a lot of dive on that comp, and Liquidation is just such good burst. And of course, when a Cramorant or a Meowth are diving you, you want to be able to get that movement up.
I agree with you, because you have your Dragapult on the front line, bro, going in with a huge amount of damage. You kind of want to do that with your other ranged attacker. I think Liquidation would be a huge shout here, but we'll have a look as Aaron is going to lock in to secure this stuff here. They do have a tough lane, but the crits on the side of this Sobble are so strong in these early stages.
No, but I really like this combo of the Whirlpool combination with this Delmise as well. It feels like a very strong comp. Cascade is not going to let Lucario get away, but I mean, Elder Goss is the first to fall, because Meowth has such a quick clear in that central lane. Both central laners going to the opposite side. Delmise is going to be the first to fall. The K-Opener going to the side of Rework Esport Core. And again, it is Dracolock that got the KO, so that built-in attack weight has started. And it is Dragon Dance coming out from Dodo here.
Okay, Dragon Dance is an interesting one. It might be the way that they can drop in a good amount of damage around Paggy, because that's going to be the difficulty. It's all about those stuns again. Got to stay away from that Meowth. And the second Dodo sees them, they're like, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm not dealing with that, bro.
I mean, again, Meowth wants to steal everything in your thing, but this is what Dodo wants to do. This is where they're going to go. There's the movement coming out from Dragon Dance, but the damage coming out from the Meowth is massive. Umbreon going to pick up a KO as well, but I think that was necessary for Dodo to go down there, because again, that built-in attack weight with that ability is going to clock up, and that damage is going to continue to rise over the course of this game.
Yeah, I mean, that was monumental by Azalito, to be honest, bro. No Elder Goss there. They don't find that KO. So that is an interesting matchup to watch for the rest of this game, chat. The Meowth versus Dragapult. I mean, eventually Umbreon goes down. Jesus, man, it took one heck of a battle there from Cascade as they continue to push onto this pad. But Meowth continue to come back into this lane as well. Lou trying to see what they can do by pushing back Azalito. Meowth can't get them. Cascade is going to stun them and continue to hit them with the fists.
I love the X speed from Azalito because Azalito has both of those buffs, but they've been found by Average, and Average picks up a KO and takes those buffs back to the side of Phantom Forces. The Dragon Breath is going to go in, and Meowth's target is that Dracolock. But again, this is the Dragon Dance that is able to get away, but Meowth's so good at chasing down. They need to get this Dragapult online, and Phantom Force is doing a much better job in this game number 2. And it is Liquidation coming out for the side of this Inteleon, which is exactly what you want. And I think I called it, Tano. That is an E-Speed Luca.
Yeah, no, you did, bro. That's definitely what needs to be used in this game mode, because realistically, you're looking to get on to these ranged attackers. Got to do a big burst to them. Don't want to be stuck in there either. We've got to use that X speed. Good wish coming through here from Umbreon will keep them on the field. This is going to be a really interesting game here, chat. Both teams have really good counters to each other. Huge amount of damage as well. We do see this Meowth continuing to rotate down into the bottom lane. Blastoise trying to hold them there, so the rip comes through. Registeel taken, Dragapult on the side, and it is going to be the coin barrage coming out here from Meowth as they look to find quick KOs.
I mean, this is the beautiful thing of the Blastoise as well, because Dragapult can just surf around, just dance around you as Blastoise gets the surf on. They're looking for they're looking for Average here. The Gulping Gut Missile is going to come through, but be absolutely ineffective. Another 3 KO streak, which means that built-in attack rate is still more and more devastating. You can't stop Dodo from getting KOs. That is an absolute guarantee. 6 minutes on the clock, 106 to 58. Phantom Force is doing a lot better. You pointed it out very well. These teams have counters to each other, but it's a team you cannot let get moving, because once they start moving, it's so very hard to stop them.
Aggie here really is just waiting for Dodo to show face. They know that they've got to go take out that Dragapult. And this is exactly what you need to do on your speedsters, chat. If you're watching this, you know what your target is going to be. You've got to wait for the engage before you can go and do it. Has to get away from the Buzzwole here, though. Ultra Soul Slam will stop them from being able to escape as Cascade looks to find more. Pulls the attention here of Lucario going down. Esport 4. Jesus, have just pulled out the combo. Azure Spy Vision will be used. That is a quadra for Inteleon as they broke that pad.
I think you had to notice as well, Inteleon got the quadra. It was Cascade's Ultra Soul Slam that went onto Paggy, but Paggy acrobatics towards Paggy because they know that they cannot allow this Meowth to start running. This is where the Blastoise is as well. Blastoise still has access to Hydro Typhoon. He gets put into the mean look, but I think Blastoise says, I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me. And this is the ending of that game number 2. The Hydro Typhoon comes out as well. But look at the damage from the Liquidation as well as the Dragapult. The damage is just insurmountable. Gulping Gut Missile comes out from the Cramorant as well. Healed up by the Wish. Blastoise is just going to surf their way in. Look at the sustain from Blastoise as well. And they're still alive. Lucario finally comes in with the E-Speed to try and KO. But they've got the Aura Cannon, which is ineffective. The Gold Coin Barrage from Meowth as well. And Esport Core clean up in their opposite central lane.
Bro, somebody clip that and send that to the developers, I beg, and just with the question mark of, is this okay? Blastoise is still insane despite these nerfs, bro. It takes so much to deal with it. The crowd control chaining is just too much, as Phantom Forces are well on the back foot here. And Cascade is going to come through with another Ultra Swole Slam. Average having to run up their lane. They know what their fate is going to be. Esport Core are not giving Phantom Forces any kind of moment to breathe in this game.
I mean, even though that tier 1 was broken, I believe, at the 350 mark. So a Regieleki here is going to walk into that core. That's exactly what they want, because now they've got another lead that is very similar to game 1 and to game 2. Registeel going to be taken off the board, which is not what Phantom Forces wanted to see at all. Lucario going to try and get 47 to nullify this score lead, which they're going to be able to do. Take away a pad, but you're giving more experience to rework Esport Core. There's the Gulping Gap Missile going to come out again, but Blastoise is just going to reposition the Delmice. Moonlight France unable to keep their team alive as Lucario is just going to try and E-speed their way through. Bone Rush is back in to avoid Dodo, but runs straight into the Ultra Swole hand of the Buzzswole.
Aaron is doing such a good job here as well on this Inteleon, mate. They have been so difficult to catch, not able to catch, and these liquidations have been on the perfect targets as well. It's a good kit combo coming out from Esport Core here, and that is going to be Umbreon down. They want to continue to push this. This is usually the moment, chat, where we feel like the team that are dominating so much are making a move that they shouldn't do. They're going to give over experience to Phantom Forces, allow them to get back into this game. Esport Core, they don't care. They know that isn't the case here. They clean them up once more, break that pad. We've only got a home goal open for Phantom Forces now.
I mean, that's a level 13 Inteleon, that's a level 14 Inteleon now, level 14 Dragapult. This is rough, but where we say this is game 3, so there is a Rayquaza. Where there's a Ray, there is a way, but right now they might not even get a chance to get into that Rayquaza pit right now. Rework Esport Core saw what happened with Gear. They said they let them have one. We ain't letting them have any right now. And with this Blastoise, it needs a nerf. I'm completely on your side. This is why it hasn't been allowed out at all. Here we go. 2 minutes on the clock. Rayquaza's here. The liquidations are firing. The Gold Coin Barrage going to try and pick up a KO, but Aaron on a KO streak of 2 already.
Yeah, that's game, bro. That's game. That's set. That's match. That is cleanup from Esport Core as they're able to take down the entirety of Phantom Forces in the blink of an eye with that double combo of Dragapult and Inteleon liquidation. It's too much for Phantom Forces to deal with. More burgers are going to come on in here. There is a minute 20 left, but it is a Rayquaza, and they're going to see how many points they can possibly score here, bro. So we're going to be saying hello to a Rework Esport Grand Finals here, or Winners Finals rather, in EULM.
I mean, that is exactly what we thought we were going to see. The two most dominant teams throughout the EULM, the Masters, it has been these two teams. They've been in that number 1 and number 2 position the entire time. I'm trying to remember who was undefeated for the longest. I believe it was Gear that was undefeated for the longest, unless I'm mistaken. But then they're even. It was Gear, I'm just being told by production, it was Gear that was undefeated for the longest time, and Core was trying to catch up. But with this performance on the board right now, especially in full Fearless, right now, Tano, Core, it's very hard to say which team looked more impressive. I mean, Dodo put on a show in all 3 of these games, but it could not have been possible without the full assistance of his team. Beru, Azalito, Cascade, and I'm missing one, Aaron, doing such a fantastic job.
Yeah, no, it's a really good combo from this squad, bro. I mean, I know Gear are just itching to take them on, and they're going to be doing plenty of work in that background, thinking about how they want to play their full Fearless Winners Final. But I think the thing is, we can't take away from what Phantom Forces have done, my guy. They have come from being the last seeded team in this entire league. Regular season, they struggled to find wins, but then they hit the mid-seasonal. They get some really good wins under their belt. They do so well down in that lower bracket. They come in to the group stages here and they kick booty. They get themselves in that position where they're here and qualified against teams like Team Int, Los Duros, MTZ that have gone on really good runs in this league. And then they just fall at the last hurdle, but they should be incredibly proud of how they've turned around their season.
No, I agree with you. And of course, we're hitting that point where we are reaching the tail end of even the official season. And this is where we usually get, the roster mania. But I don't want to see that happen in these EU teams. The rework teams doing so well. Phantom Forces and Supernova both have new look rosters, which I'm absolutely loving to see. So they haven't had a full season together just yet, but all of the experience that they're getting, the fact that they're now turning around this tail end of the season is working so well for them. And I want to see them keep going, pushing forward and continuing. Unfortunately, a game like this one makes it really hard to see, but these rework teams, they're making such a good showing, and they're giving reasons as to why there should be more teams in the official league.
No, we beg, bro. Give us a T2 league at the very least if you can't, because, these teams, they deserve to be able to play on that big screen. Right now, though, it's all about Rework Esport in EULM. They have been the teams to talk about, and we are going to have the mighty showdown. The Goliant champions are going to be going up against their sister team here, and it's going to be a joy to watch as we have a look at this replay. I mean, Phantom Forces, they tried their best, bro, but it was the second that they had these combos of that Dragapult, of Aron on that Inteleon together, they could not break through it.
I mean, it's the liquidation. It's Snipe Shot. If Snipe Shot is chosen here, this game goes completely different, because liquidation can burst everybody down, and whilst Dodo is dancing around the team, the liquidation is doing bits. I mean, Lucario tries to bounce on him. Cascade doing brilliantly. Anytime that any Pokemon got near their attackers, Cascade just pulls them back brilliantly. And again, it's unfair to talk about the Blastoise because it really shouldn't be in the position that it's in right now. Honestly, if the most critical thing I can say is that Blastoise has been untouched for so long. It did get a tiny sliver of a nerf, but that was just the sustain coming through from that Blastoise. It's so strong in this meta, and there's a reason that we've only seen it once across, what was it, 7 games that we watched?
Yeah.
And that's full Fearless.
Yeah, full Fearless, bro. You're absolutely right. People continue to ban it. Yeah, it's one of those Pokemon that you kind of can't let through. It's the same with Safetch. Like, if you get it as a team, like, it's so strong to build around as well. And this really is just the combo that we've seen, that just having that frontline Blastoise and Buzzwole in your face. Gotta give a huge shout out to Azalito with those insane heals. And then you just let loose with your ranged attackers. Core with a brilliant comp here. In game 3, bro, there's 20 Pokemon banned out, 26 Pokemon banned out in this game, chat, and they've been able to pull out this combo. And I think that is going to be the thing when we start seeing more of this Fearless stuff going on. We've got our tournament, Unity Clash are doing plenty here with Fearless as well. It's going to be a sort of tactic. It's going to have to be meta for you to understand how to do Fearless Draft, how you get those really strong Pokemon later on in the set, rather than just going big at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, Fearless, it's going to test players more than I think they're used to be testing, because you can play the same 10 Pokemon over and over again in the comp. And I think that's why there's such a split between pro players on whether they want to do Fearless Draft as well, because sometimes people just want to play the Pokemon that they want to play. But again, I think this brings so much more activity to Pokemon Unite. Even when you and I talk about it in the draft, a lot of the time when it's just normal, we're like, oh, they picked Vaporeon again, they picked Blastoise again, they picked Zapdos again. But this meta shift that we've got, the patch was absolutely brilliant. Well, I say absolutely brilliant, but it was one of the more positively received last 3 patches, because we got it was the ranged the patch that we got, the first one, then we got the Moltres nerf, and then we got the second one as well. All 3 patches were received positively by the entire community as a positive step towards Pokemon Unite. I think Fearless is a positive step as well. It's gonna be interesting as well, but we have another interview, and I absolutely love it. We're going to get to interview the man, the myth, the legend himself, and that is Cascade. So production, whenever you're ready, take us over. And we've got Dodo and Cascade that we're going to be playing. I love having voices in my head. It's always the production, but I can't wait to get to chat to these 2 guys, because we've been watching them for a long time, Tano. So it's going to be awesome to get a little bit of a conversation going with these 2 incredible players.
Hey guys, can you hear us?
Yeah,
Yep.
hello?
Hear you.
Hey, there they are.
Welcome in, guys. A huge congrats on that game. It was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to cast. First thing for me is going to be Dodo. We saw you lock in that Glaceon from game 1. Cascade, we saw you locking in your Serena as well. Was the plan for Esport Core to be like, look, we're going to lock in our favorite picks here, the ones that we're known for, if we can do so?
I think if
Okay,
I can
so-
answer this,
Go on.
you go.
Go. No, you can. It's fine.
So polite.
We want
So
to hear from
basically,
both
Aaron
of
was
you, so
picking Mew.
both of you can go.
So Aaron was picking Mew, and I personally think if Aaron is playing Mew, like, our synergy with Serena and Glaceon is really good with him. So like most of the time he's just playing around Cascade in late games, and before that we are just looking for one-shots together.
Smart.
Love it.
Yeah, and
I love it.
furthermore,
talk to us.
Uh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, furthermore, we know that Phantom Forces are very good with with Tsarina and Glaceon. So we wanted to pick in the first games some picks that both teams are playing a lot, so they won't be able to pick them later. That's why.
Ooh, I like that.
I love that. That's the strategy of Full Fearless. Now, I want to talk about as well game number 3, the Dragon Dance combination with that. That was probably the most, I want to say, comfortable and controlled that you guys have looked in that comp. I mean, even into game 3 in that situation. I mean, the Dragapult comes out, the liquidation Inteleon comes out. Talk to us about your whole process as you're going through these Fearless draft bans. Have you got comps in mind, or are you kind of looking at what Phantom Forces or your opponents are drafting and drafting opposed to that? How are you approaching these drafts, like specifically for Fearless, and then in just a normal sense?
So basically, because it was kind of the first time we were playing Fearless, we just looked at like the broken picks which are still there, and then we got Blastoise, and after that we figured we could pick some attackers now, because like normally they won't defeat the Blastoise, so Inteleon and Dragapult can just do whatever they want.
True words.
I mean, like the scene with the Cramorant ult was illegal. I didn't even go to him first of all, because I thought he would be dead already, but then he just survived and killed the Cramorant, and okay, sure.
That's illegal, bro. I was like, this is cyberbullying with that Blastoise, man. It's crazy. But I mean, listen, let us know your opinions on the Full Fearless, guys. This is, we haven't seen this in Pokemon Unite at all. What's your experience like? Did you enjoy it? Do you want more of this kind of action in these grassroots scenes?
Full Fearless is just like so great in terms of strategy. Like you have so much more options, knowing that you can pick something, and the opponents won't be able to pick it in the next games. So that means you don't have to think about winning this game. You also have to think about how playing this game will make you win the next ones. Like that's puts so much more strategy in the game. It's very great to start practicing on it.
So that's what we'd love to hear. So would you guys like to see a full, obviously with next season and everything coming up, you guys are obviously looking for those spots in the official, the tournaments. Would you love to see Full Fearless come in to the official side of Pokemon Unite?
I think Fearless is pretty good for competition, but at the same time, I think they won't make full Fearless, because I think for full Fearless there are like not enough characters, especially like in the tank role. I think if it gets to a game 5, it's like really awkward when you pick a tank. But I think like Fearless with just your picks being banned should be good.
All right, now guys, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room. You're going up against Gear in the winners final. Tell us a little bit about that, because you're going up against each other for the 4th time in this league, or always defeating Gear in that one. Like, tell us how that's going to be. Like, are you excited for it? What have you got ideas on how to beat them already again?
I mean, Ikles just challenged us before in his interview, so we have to play it. Of course, we're excited about playing our the Rock Gear team, as always. I don't know what to say.
I mean, it's hype, guys. I mean, we've really enjoyed watching you in the entirety of this league. Everybody gets behind the rework teams when we see them. I mean, I know that obviously the plan is that once this league is finished, I believe you guys are going to be sort of going your separate ways as a team. Is this kind of like a good bow out for you? You're like, we want to be on top and win this league for a good... Because you've played as a team for a while, right? And you've played really well together.
Yes, I think obviously our goal is to win this, and probably we have to beat Gear to do that in winners final now, and I guess also in grand finals, except like Supernova or Phantom Forces are pulling up a masterclass. So I think we would like to win in the end, but at the same time, our wins before against Gear those are like in the past, and now we have to like work to beat them again.
Absolutely. Like, you can't take anything for guaranteed in Pokemon Unite, especially not with full fearless, especially not with those free rotations of the maps as well, with like Rayquaza and Groudon. So you're absolutely right, buddy. I mean, it's been a joy to be having you on the mic here. We're going to be sad to say goodbye to Core at the end of this league. I think you've all been a joy. I hope you all continue to play in Pokemon Unite at least. But we will say, from me and Lobo ourselves, it was a pleasure to see you join up as the Avengers for other tournaments that we've seen you doing in EU. So hopefully we see more of you.
Well, thank you for having us, and thank you for casting all those events.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. We're gonna say goodbye to our lovely representatives from Rework Esports Corp. Putting on an absolute showing, guys. Have an absolutely fantastic night. I hopefully will get to talk to you again soon and see you guys play again soon.
Thank you. Thanks
right.
for cast. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye, you
Bye-bye.
goats. It's been a
You
pleasure.
legends.
All right, guys. I mean, we have more action to bring you tomorrow, so you will not want to miss any of this coming your way. We have our results. The losers semi-final is going to be down with Supernova and Phantom Forces going up against each other. It's all about the winner final, though, bro. This is what everybody is here to see. It's Rework Esport Gear taking on Rework Esport Core. Every time they've gone up against each other, Core has had Gear's number. They want that revenge. They're desperate for it. Let's see who they go up against in the lower final.
I mean, that's going to be interesting as well. That semifinals in the lower bracket as well. Supernova versus Phantom Forces. Two teams that, again, so strong and have such a good upturn in fortunes towards the latter half of the season. They're going to fight it out, and then one of them is going to go and get the salty Rework Esport rematch, and then we're going to go into our grand final. So it's going to be so much fun. We have so much exciting plan. And these are all, I believe, I need to check. So I believe the winners final is going to be a best of 5. Is the losers semifinal going to be a best of 5 as well? Everything is best of 5, I have been told. So I'm so excited. Again, Tano, mate, do you think there will be an upset? Because the Rework teams were looking so strong.
I hope. I think Phantom Forces are going to go do a lot of learning from that. Same with Supernova. They're going to go back, review this VOD. They've not got a lot of time to do so, though, because we're here again tomorrow at the same time, chat. So it's one of those where I'm hoping they're going to be able to cause upsets, because I love upsets in Pokemon Unite. They make me so happy, except from when it's a team that I want to win. But it's fearless. It's full fearless. So there's no way of guarantee in this one. Everyone expects it to be the grand finals, but we've got some surprises coming up for you, especially tomorrow as well. You won't want to miss any of that. We're working some stuff in as well into the grand finals and the lower finals on the 18th of April. It's going to be a lot of fun. You won't want to miss any of this action. It is the best of EU grassroots esports. We said it from day one. That's exactly what we're continuing to do here.
I mean, it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, but I'm going to be at the edge of my seat watching it. My boy Tano is going to be casting it as well, and obviously can bring us the incredible action. But Tano, before we get out of here and finally take a break, because whew, that was tiring to watch, let's do our thank yous before we get our butts on out of here.
Yeah, we've got a huge amount of people to say thank you to. Well, actually, not a huge amount of people. It's actually a rather small team here, which is just even more of a monumental task from these incredible people. Humongous shout out to our observers here, Bina and Rosander. Having 2 allows us to do that picture-in-picture, and it just brings you A-level tournament graded Pokemon Unite on your screens. Of course, my fellow caster across the mic from me here, the amazing Lobo, that has been with me for a couple of years now. It's been a pleasure, and we cannot go without saying a huge thank you to the legendary Shivam, the founder and head of Unity Clash, the absolute GOAT that got us all here casting for this. Would not be possible without that amazing individual behind the scenes, chat. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you being here, chatting to us, talking to us, the pro players getting involved as well. And a huge thank you to Nigel being over my shoulder, the other side. He's a beautiful droid. We all love him.
Yeah, beautiful shout out to Nigel. I haven't given
Thank
my
you.
Mimikyu a name. I'll give him a name, but I guess without any more thank yous left to be done, we'll see you guys tomorrow right back here for the winners final and the losers final. I've been Lobo. That's been Tano. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's correct. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.